All right, everybody. This is your host, Paul Gaither. This is NCAA Football 2014. So glad to have you, whether you're live or here on the replay. We're back. We're loading it up, and it's Boise State versus USC in practice mode. And just to get all of y'all up to speed with what's going on, we're going to take a quick look at the settings. Go to House Rules. Check it out. We're back to Heisman, as we've been before. Offsides, we tried it at a low, like 15, 25, like low numbers. I think Denny and others are correct when they talk about it being the jump on the ball. And I got to say, I'm seeing lower strength defensive linemen pushing around higher strength offensive linemen, and I don't like it. We're trying false start at 40. We've tried it at 45, 35, all that. 35, I don't know how much it makes a difference, how much like you avoid getting a good jump or whatever. We're trying holding and face mask at about 20. I think it's going to be the quality of the tackles. I think we get some good quality tackling animation, some good quality blocking animation and all of that. We're going to go offensive, defensive, pass interference 0. It's not like they ever call it anyway. And in this case, I believe it increases the quality of the coverage down the field. Clipping is also going to just be tested at 20. Roughing the passer is going to be at 54. So we still want to see it happen. The intentional grounding is at 0. And last time I was testing off camera, a big deal that I was working with was switching sides, both offense and defense. So, one of the other things that I want to work with, I'm here in the I formation, and I have a whole bunch of plays. Not because I want to keep them, but because I want to test them. And one of the core things that I was actually looking to test, for example, was Power O. And we're going to go to by formation, 3-4 defense. We're going to go cover 3. We're going to reposition the football. We're going to drag it back here to the 30-yard line. Hand it off. We're just letting the computer do its thing. And we see the tackle. And we're going to sit here and take a look at various issues. We're going to talk about the matchups. We're going to talk about the things that we see happening. The very first thing is just pay attention to actually what happened with the ball carrier. We get the snap. We get our angle. We get our handoff. And we're supposed to follow 77 and 85. We're supposed to get some kind of a set of blocking. And we're basically running away from the defender who's running clear straight through the hole. Now, we've talked about this at length. I don't need to go over it right now. Yes, I do see it. We've seen it before in the game where he's supposed to be closer to number 65. And you can see the can animations doing his thing. Regardless, we get a defender free through the hole, and he's basically trying to run away from it. Run away from him. And it basically runs us right into the safety. And I can't blame ball carrier vision or anything like that. However, with that in mind, I'm not trying to just completely bore you with all the slider settings. One of the things that I have done recently is I put it at 55 running back ability, 15 run blocking. Now, since I've adjusted the offsides and everything, that may have a different impact. I similarly have 55 running back ability, but 45 run blocking for the computer. Run defense, I have set to 70 for the computer, and run defense I have set as 40 for the human. So I want to show off some of the things and the reasons why. So let's also take a look at some of our matchups here. And we see number 71 versus number 42 on the defense. And this is one of the situations I was talking about, the weaker defensive linemen pushing our offensive linemen. So when I had it set to like 0 offsides or 15 offsides or whatever, I saw 42 driving 71 backwards with a lot of consistency. And when we take a look at the matchup, we see our right tackle has 87 strength. But for USC, the left end, number 42, has 76 strength. We have an 11-point advantage, and yet we were getting driven backwards. It's off camera. You're going to have to take my word for it. But there's a reason why we've gone back to where we are. And you can again see, like, for me, the most obvious thing that the running back should do is follow 77. Now 77 gets a little caught, but I would be working north and south here if I was a human. You know, I am a human, but if I was like human controlling it, that's just what I wanted to say. And we just hand it off, and then human control right through the hole and go north-south like that, right? You hand it off, you see the double team through the hole, and it's just like boom, and then we can wiggle past 56, and we see the double team, and then we cut it back or whatever. Like, this is what human control looks like, right? And you can tell the difference, and you can see whatever. The thing is, you see 71, and you see all of this, and you can tell, again, it's human controlled. It's obvious that it's human controlled. And we're just trying to get something. Now I'm going to stop human controlling it. We hand it off. And one of the things that it also does is it points out the difference of facing an odd front, 3 down linemen, and then the 2 linebackers is 5, so again, it's an odd number of players. An odd front with power O versus an even front with power O. And you can have an even front, 4 down linemen with a linebacker kicked over and still have 5 on the line. But the way that they're aligned, it also doesn't really work for the power O that we're trying to do. So you see like how 85 kind of gets lost where he wants to go, 77 gets a little lost. And I'm still not a fan of watching 71 get beat off the ball like he is. And it won't snap to the position. Okay, there's 42. And you see he's like stalemating a guy who's 11 points stronger than he is. Not a fan of that. So, I also mentioned to you that I was looking at run defense, 70 run defense for the computer and 40 for the human. A reason for that is here. Let's look at the end around. Let's again go back to a simple cover 3. And Miller will take the ball. We hand it off. And we're not touching the controller at all. And we can see the way the run is. And there's things that I'm looking at here. So I'm specifically looking at linebackers and safeties, okay? So we're looking at 55 and 56. The ball is snapped. We're like showing motion, like handing off to the running back. And you can see 56 and 55, they're flowing towards the running back. They're flowing to the play. They're not flowing with the wide receiver. Nor should they have to flow with the wide receiver because that's not their job. Really, the job of taking on the wide receiver here with the reverse and everything is here with number 91, and he's the one that gets kicked out. So the offense is even accounting for the fact of the responsibility of the defense and to kick him out and to get around him, right? Like, that's not their job to go get there. So, as we see here, the ball is handed off, and then as it's handed off and it's official, that's when 56 goes, whoa, right? And you can see 55 and 56. As they go, now you can see 55. He's adjusting. And he can see it. He can clearly see it. So he reacts. 56 is like, whoa! Right? That's important here. If we start increasing the run defense, they instantly recognize it. And that's why we need to go to this next level here. I need to show you what I'm looking for, at least myself. You can disagree with what we're looking for here. But we see 55 and 56. Regardless of their awareness, play recognition is what I'm taking a look at. PRC, 84 and 80. And 55 is a little bit better than 56. And I think we see the same thing both physically, like the point of view. 55 seeing the handoff more clearly. He reacts harder and sharper. And then 56, he really has like a muddied view. Right? Like if you're 56 here, you've like, and your eyes are in the helmet here, right? We can even zoom in a little bit more. Yeah. Like that. Like the view is muddied, right? Is this a play action or not? Can you tell? Like he doesn't have the football. 27 doesn't have the football. But is it a play action? Oh, there's that empty hand, right? There's that empty hand. What's he doing? He's reacting to that empty hand or whatever, right? You get the idea, and like that, there you go in like split seconds, right? So now we get here, and we've got number 6. He's immediately respecting the end around. He's watching, and he's going after it, right? And whether he gets popped or not, you go to the depth chart, and we're going to look at number 6 here. Come on, please. Number 6, free safety, 81 awareness, whatever. PRC, 80. The same as our other linebacker, number 56. But he's a safety. He's in the backfield. What does he see? How does he react? He's the deep third safety. He's already supposed to be bailing. He's supposed to have eyes on. And he can see the handoff. So I don't have a problem with him having an instant reaction. I don't think he needs 90-something reaction to do his job. That takes us to the next layer. I guess we could run it a few times just to see consistency. Like, oh, we snap the ball, and we see 56, and then he readjusts as the players go around, and we get like 5 yards on the run, right? And we snap the ball again, and 56, and now 56 is looking, and he makes the tackle. So that's another thing. Like, you're not getting the exact same, like, auto, like, instant replay action. He's flowing, there's a handoff, he's got clear vision of it, it's not muddied. The vision isn't muddied, and he's able to react to it much faster, and he's able to make a play on the football. So also how muddied up the point of view is, what he can physically see or not. And you see how he gets like a little jerked around by that, and so forth. With that in mind, what's up, Denny? I see you. Let's go. We go over here, and we go select sides. Denny, I don't know if you've been here from the very beginning, but I recommend, I ask that you start from the beginning, watch it 2 times speed, and catch up. Just to catch up what we missed. Obviously, we have to get through this play, and then we're going to be USC, and it's going to be exactly the same. And we're just going to be number 42 and not touch anything. And then you're going to see the computer run the same play. Now, for whatever reason, the computer running back is actually lowering his head and doing something that the human version of him wasn't doing. I don't know if that's like the running back ability, but he gets like the auto break tackle that I've complained about in these Madden 13, NCAA 13, Madden 14, NCAA 14 video games, where it's just like, if they do this, it's like, it doesn't matter if they have like 99 hit power, 99 tackle, they just get automatically cooked and toasted. But that's beside the point. Is we're now the USC Trojans. And what do we see? The reaction. And if anything, maybe we need to be another click higher, right? Because where they're really jumping out there, where they weren't doing that before. And let's take a look at number 6. He's backpedaling, he sees it, and then he takes like a little step around to go after it. And you know, those little steps matter. And let's watch the play run a few more times. He said, nope, just got here, going to go back and catch up. Hey, let me know when you get caught back up. And to me, like, it makes a difference. A step here, a step there. Maybe we click 1 click down for the computer, 1 click up for the user. Maybe we do 45 human run defense. Maybe we do 65 computer run defense. I don't know. But you can see here as he goes through, and then he's going to react, but he's going to get blocked. 55, he's going to go over to defend it. And as soon as the ball is handed off, again, once it's committed, and it's not a play action or anything, once it's committed, he's reacting anyway. Right? That's what we see. We see number 6, he's dropping back, he's looking, he sees it, now he's taking kind of an end around little loop-de-loop. And you know what? If I'm being honest, I kind of think that's what an 80 should look like. Right? An 80 rating should look like. More than, let's say, like a 90-something rating. Right? I think maybe what the computer is doing should maybe be 65 reaction. Right? Because they're not elite. Like, if anything. We can actually try that. House rules. Computer. Rush defense, 65. And then let's do a human run defense, 45. And see if we can dial it back down to 40. Why not? Let's see if human run defense makes it look like the 70 for them. So we're going to recall the same play. But we're resetting things. Cover 3. Normal. End around. Watch the 2 linebackers and the safety. And I think he doesn't do that weird little loop-de-end around. I didn't see all of them in real time perfectly. Let's check here. Drops back, the handoff. Yeah, he still does the little loop-de-round. And he's still like stopping the play for like a 5-yard gain or whatever. And then let's look here. The linebackers, they really force commit. Like they really jump out there. Right? But then there's the handoff. And they immediately react. Look, watch 56, 55. Like, they're immediately reacting to it. They're just super jumping out. And now we're going to switch sides again. So we go to, where is it? Settings. Okay. I just want it to be consistent. I want the plays to matter, especially we're basically doing computer versus computer, but we're calling the plays. Right, the guy fell down. Just watching the linebackers, they like super jump out. And then they immediately react, so they're like a little bit behind the place. And now, user, just press the A button. I can hear that noise, huh? See, they're not super jumping out, right? He's not super looping around. It's a little loop, but I think it's pretty good. Right? I think it's pretty good. A little advantage towards the computer, right? A little advantage to the computer is a little fine because, you know, hey, it makes it a little more challenging. But is there a meaningful difference between us being Boise State and us being USC? Because as a human, like, we can align. We can make defensive line shifts and linebacker shifts and things, and then make audible calls and other things. So I don't mind if the computer has like a slight advantage over us. But that's one of the goals that I had, was to set it up so that we get similar looking results. Because that's the point, right? It's like if I built the USC team, I would want them to play like that. And if the computer had built the USC team over seasons, I want them to play like that. Like you've been investing 5 years of your dynasty or whatever. Even your freshmen have graduated. It's everyone that you've recruited, whatever, you've built this team. I don't care if it's the computer built team or my built team, and that's what the ratings are. I want them to play like that. I hope that makes sense. So that's a thing we've set up. So we also get back to this idea of the running back vision. So rather than Power-O, I think what I wanted to look at and wanted to show to you as well is actually, let's worry about ISO. Just the core ISO play against cover 3. And let's put the ball here on the 30. I like having the X at the 35, and it's just like another visual marker. Trying to hand the ball north and south up the middle. I'm not pressing anything as a user. You've got the double team, and he's just trying to pick that stuff up. Right? And he gets a little lost, and to me, he's got 77 ball carrier vision. Like, I want him to be at least somewhat inconsistent. Like, it's a simple run. Up the gut. He's below 80 ball carrier vision. Here, he's literally running it up the middle, just like you want him to. Other times, he was trying things that maybe he shouldn't be trying. He's a sophomore and has a chance to get better. We hand it off. You see, he even kind of is trying to bounce it outside. I kind of want to see something better out of a running back who's a Division I starting running back. You know? Like, you can see here, he's like, oh, I really want to take it outside. Oh, but I shouldn't, and this is the right way to go, or whatever. And I find that if you increase it up to, like, I believe 60 running back ability, he starts getting what I feel like a little too good for 77 ball carrier vision. At least that's how I felt like the other night. I think it was either last night or 2 nights ago. Hand it off. Like, he kept it up the middle, went a little bit to the left. Okay, he didn't read it so well here. Okay. I would like to keep it up to the gut a little bit more. I also, yeah, stuff like that. Like, now he's, like, breaking off big runs, and it's not that I don't want Ajayi to break off big runs. But I feel like I like 55 more than that, right? Because some of it is like, I don't think I like the decision, and then it just gets to a point of, like, is he just being too elusive? Right? Just evasive and all these other aspects. I want to look at his abilities. 83 trucking, yeah, 69 elusiveness, 77 ball carrier vision, all of that. I'm going to go with Damas here. And another player I wanted to go with was a wide receiver with 90 ball carrier vision. He has a lower overall awareness because he's a wide receiver. He gets penalized. I kind of want to see what a lower ball carrier vision guy does. Not higher ball carrier vision guy does. But I just felt last night like I really liked 55. It really felt like the right mix. So we're going to see what low awareness but high ball carrier vision might look like here, also at 55 on the scale. I think he gets like an awareness penalty. He just trucked a dude. Okay, I feel like I have to do like the tackling or whatever. I don't know about the face mask penalty, all that, but it feels like he's trying to like slip through and use his skills. And there's like the whole tackle rating, but I feel like the 90 ball carrier vision and everything is looking good. This little dude against this big dude, and he just wins. And I told you, it's the auto break tackle. I don't know what else to do. It's just the auto break tackle when they do that. It's so ridiculous. And then that's like a stiff arm combination with like a trucking stiff arm bullshit. The strength is like 52. Trucking is 54. Stiff arm is 59. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's a madhouse. And then tackles an 84. Hit powers is 75. He's not trying to lay the wood, but it's like, ugh, come on. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to do that. But I felt that run was an example of like 90, especially with the +5 or whatever it is, plus ball carrier vision, like using his like little juke and wiggliness and picking up big yards inside, right? Yeah, he's slipping through. Yeah, he's slipping through. I think he even tried here. I think not only did he run up like this and not try to force it outside, he hits the cutback, and I think he's trying to get behind 78 right here, but also throwing the stiff arm. But he's not throwing the stiff arm to the left. He's throwing the stiff arm here. It's like, oh, you let the little wide receiver run the ball. It's just because he's got the 90 ball carrier vision, right? I don't know how much that's a mistake. I don't know how much the computer's trying to... what it's trying to do here, because it seems like, yeah, just hit the hole. It feels like the computer sees this hole and then is like, but I need to follow my fullback or whatever. So it's like, I'm going to go follow my fullback and my blockers or whatever. The 91 is here. I need to run away from... I don't know. But it's like, there's a hole right there. So I don't know why he doesn't press it, but he's still running a lot better than Ajayi, right? He's slipping through north-south, get the yards. Yeah, right there. Little boop, 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 boop. You get it. So that's like 90 ball carrier vision right there. Now, let's go back in and say here, Ajayi, and the guy within the 82 ball carrier vision. Collapsed on. He's trying to take it outside, which the 90 ball carrier vision guy never tried to do. But there he's able to escape and do something. But you can see, like, 11 wasn't doing that at all. Now he's able to see it. So there's like a level of inconsistency. He's still trying to take it outside. It's interesting. Like that. I like that. It's interesting. It's not consistent. I don't know about going up to 60. You need to tell me in the comments. Because I still feel like as a Division 1 running back, you should at least know what the hell you're doing. I don't expect like elite Super Bowl carrier vision out of you. I still kind of figure, I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled by watching NFL running backs, but I want like a level of consistency of like just hitting a hole north and south. See, that's a regular run I want. We're double teaming the nose, and we're just trying to hit something here. And it's like he's trying to avoid contact, you know? It's like they're trying to avoid contact. Or they're trying to run into, like, stiff arms. Like that. Like, what is Ajayi doing? Now, Demas was kind of doing that, trying to force the ball outside. It's wacky wild. All right, Denny, you're back to live. Let me know. I was just unhappy with Ajayi's like ball carrier vision, the utter inconsistency, and yet I know it's like 77, man. Sometimes he'll give you a good run, and sometimes he'll just give you a trash run, right? Pick up those 2 or 3 yards. He'll just like spoil carries, right? Now, we're running against the box, but trash like that, that's what's a turnoff, right? Like this stuff. Like, bro, just run it north and south. But remember how he was just like torching it at 60? Feel sorry about the loss of the Seahawks, Alter? Hey man, you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, chill out, enjoy your Bills, man. Like, this season's a fucking joke. Like, I'm so unhappy with Kyle Shanahan. I'm just trying to enjoy the video game and trying to enjoy life outside of it, bro. See, look at even 60, he's still doing that dumb shit. Which, I mean, is a good thing because he's 77 ball carrier vision, but goddamn, man. Yeah, Ochi is like... Yeah, he keeps running into 71's ass, man. He's like Mark Sanchez. He's like channeling his inner Mark Sanchez. It's really bad. And he keeps trying to go outside like here. He's trying to like sucker a guy inside. I think that's why he keeps running into 71's butt. When 71 doesn't get a good leap, then he gets run backwards, and that's why we're running into the butt right here. But he's just really trying to get to this outside edge area. I think that's why he's running into 71's butt. Like that. To me, that's just too good of ball carrier vision of like escaping. And we're just set to 60. Right? Like this elusive, whoop, you can't get me, you can't see me, whatever kind of like stuff. Like that's what he's getting to. And that's why I feel you gotta go with 55. I know we're like dancing around with it. And then Denny says, lower your false start slider so the hole is better defined. Like try 25 or 35. I'm willing to do that. I was doing it earlier. I was doing like 12 or 15 or whatever it was. I still wanted to see false starts. But to me, it's still about the ball carrier vision. Right? Like, I get the hole being defined more, and we're willing to do that. Absolutely. But it's just like, you can see the difference with 55 and 65 ball carrier vision. He's just like ripping teams apart, or I'm going to run into 71's butt. See, yeah, he's like taking off like that. And again, let's continue to reset it just to give it a chance. You know, that's the weird thing about the video game. Yeah, you have to reset it. You know, maybe it's a placebo effect, but I feel you have to. See, I think there's also a level of like increasing the elusiveness or whatever. Yeah, at 55, he's willing to take it north and south. But he's also willing to go off the edge, and picking up 4 yards is 4 yards, you know? Fighting. You just weren't sure if it was the lineman getting moved and the hole messing with the vision. It is a little bit. As I said, I think that's why he was running into him. Is it wasn't really messing up the vision. Is he saw what he saw, but the lineman was in his lap. You know? I think that's really what it came down to, is the lineman was in his lap, preventing him from taking advantage of what he saw. .71 is like getting pushed back. Remember, he's 11-point strength advantage. And I don't expect perfection. But he's been winning more battles than losing, right? And here we're like, okay, still going north and south, right? Say in Madden, lowering the fumble slider makes the running backs less timid, but fumbles happen more often. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that being a thing. The thing is, like, I also have this problem, and again, I haven't done any of these, like, penalty sliders with Madden. I have this problem with, like, Frank Gore in the game, where he, like, constantly wants to just bounce, like, the most inside run out to the sides. You know, and I'm like, just fucking go north and south. God damn. I picked the most go north and south play, like ISO dive. I'm in human control. Just, oh, there's the thing, and just pick up fucking 3 yards. Like, double team the nose, and let me get, like, a few yards, right? That's all I want. Right, let me double team and just whatever. Now I'm going to stop controlling it. Now he's running into the dude's ass. Okay. Yeah, running into the dude's ass is like a big issue. Right. Yeah, I think 55 is the right number. Sometimes you're picking up 4 yards, sometimes you're getting nothing. Sometimes it's the defense just playing good football. Sometimes you pick up 5. And yeah, if you have like a 0 yard and a 5 yard, that's 2.5 yards per carry, right? I mean, I get it. You're not going to run dive every single play. But there I'm getting like 11, 12 yards. Because of broken tackles, 2 yards. We don't need to sit here and watch the same play over and over again too much. But we're just getting an idea with the most basic of plays and seeing consistency from play after play. And you said, yeah, let's go to Power O. In the same cover 3. See how he handles the pulling guard and everything like that. See, now he's willing to go north and south. All computer controlled. He's trying to race it to the edge. The push, he's willing to go a little north and south and roll forward. Yeah, I feel 55 is like the right spot. Yeah, when the gaps are filled, they're filled, you know? He gets nothing. He's running into the guy instead of following the wall of blockers. And then you said they should have given the running back tendencies as far as north-south versus east-west. They thought they did with power and speed backs labels, but it didn't seem to change how they played. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was their purpose or not. I think it was like, I think power and speed had more to do with like attempting truck stiff arm versus... Okay, right thumbstick, fuck you. They have just regular break tackle, whether they're using a move or not, I guess. Trucking, there's elusiveness, spin move, juke move. Right? I don't remember what everything was. Trucking obviously is the right thumbstick up. Stiff arm is the A button. To me, those are like power back moves. Right? and they're going to actually use those moves. Spins and jukes are evasive, maneuvers. I'm willing to bet elusiveness, spin, and juke are in one family. I'm willing to bet, your ability to shed a block with high elusiveness. If you don't engage in a truck or a stiff arm maneuver, a special move, then it will measure either your break tackle or elusiveness as to what kind of break tackle animation it's going to have. Because there's, animations where they're, running through... I see the ones where they're running through arm tackles. And, they're being slippy, slidey, left side, right side. They're not throwing an official juke move. And then there's just, running through a guy, but not lowering the head. It's hard to explain until we see, an actual image of it. But I think it's break tackle, truck, stiff arm is one family. And I think elusiveness, spin, and juke is another family. And the moves that they try to do, and when they're trying to get tackled when they're not throwing the move. I hope that makes sense. Hope I'm not rambling too much. But I think it's two different families. Yeah, and I think that's what those dictate by the abilities, is what they tend to favor or whatever. So... And yeah, he's trying to get outside from time to time, right? Okay, so I think that's some good examples of what I'm talking about here. Because having a broken tackle, there's the arm tackle. And I think this is just straight up break tackle, right? He's not throwing a stiff arm or anything. I think it's just the video game's tackle rating versus break tackle of getting pulled to the ground or not. And just ripping through a tackle. And then I think is it really a change of direction? Because I don't see this as a juke move. I see this as a change of direction. Right? And there's other times where I think I see what would be considered elusiveness, in a different animation. See, he's trying to throw the stiff arm right there. Come on. He gets it. He goes north and south. And he's literally trying to throw the stiff arm check. And you don't have to get a super win, drive the guy backwards, to still get a win. Where you're keeping him off of you and you're gaining positive yards. It's still a win. But then there's also the transition to another tackle animation here with 21 and some other players. It's I think he's winning this dice roll. He's going to ride with 56 if no one else were interfering with the play. And other players do. And then just getting tackled straight up. And he said, makes sense, totally agree. Sarah, in sim franchises, I would focus on ball carrier vision elusiveness to rank halfbacks more than speed or trucking. Yeah, I love to have ball carrier vision and elusiveness as well. You're a Steelers fan. Congratulations, your Steelers, I believe. What are they, 8-2 right now? And the Le'Veon Bell and all that kind of stuff, that era of that kind of inside running, zone running, used to have Jerome Bettis and the power scheme with Bill Cowher, and the early days of Mike Tomlin or whatever. I think Bill Cowher, did he get his victory with Bettis, and then Tomlin didn't get to play with Bettis, right? It was the 2005? Yeah, I believe that. Y'all went from the power game, I believe, the Alan Faneca and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you had the power game all the way in the 90s and all that, but you started to adopt the zone scheme with Le'Veon Bell. I don't know if he did beforehand. I don't know about Fast Willie Parker, if he was power or not, because I wasn't paying that much attention. But that kind of zone scheme, that elusiveness, ball carrier vision thing is also what I really favored in Madden 14. There is one player that is an elite superstar, not Christian McCaffrey kind of guy, but there's a super player in Madden 14's handcrafted rookies. I want to see if I can bring it up quickly. If I go to video games and I go to Madden and I go to 25 draft guide, I would actually like to talk about this for a moment. Let's go display capture here. Let's go all halfbacks. Balance, power, speed, whatever. One cutbacks. Let's go filter. Add a filter. Let's do largest to smallest. Expand the selection. Yeah. Yeah, there is a guy who long before CMC ever entered the league, there is like this guy, Pablo Parker. They have the draft class where he come from. Pablo Parker, star development. He's got 87 and 85 power. He's not power like as in like a rating. If you have him as these kinds of backs, like what kind of your offense is, if you're looking for a balanced running back, he's an 87. If you're looking for a power back, he's an 85. If you're looking for a speed back, he's an 87. If you're looking for a receiving back, he's a 93. If you're looking for a zone one cut runner, he's also an 87. If you're looking for a speed back, he's 95. Like, he's good at everything, right? And he's just like this super stud star. He's the highest rated one cut runner in the entire of all the draft classes. And projected first round. Here he finished the season third best running back, ran a 4.33 at the combine. Like, he's everything. He's really fast. He's a receiving back. He's a zone running back. Like, no matter what you want, he's going to be elite, right? He's like high ball carrier vision, high elusiveness, like super stud star. And I found him not having to use this like cheat thing. Like, I don't like using this, but I downloaded this and I was writing in my copybook. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I was using the same strategy I've talked about in Madden 14 to scout for players by their like letter grade A and B and blah, 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 blah. And when I found this guy, I was like, holy shit, this dude is amazing. I was telling my friends, like, I normally don't draft running backs in the first round, but I have to get this dude. And I was so interested in getting this guy, I had to look up, were there any other one-cut guys that were good? Or, like, how many were there? Is it like, are there a lot of these? And it was, like, year 2 or year 3 of my franchise. Like, and I remember, like, oh my god, I love this guy. And I'm like, how often do you find these guys? He's the only one out of, like, 30-something draft classes, the 36, whatever draft classes. There's 32, yeah, the 36 draft classes that they have for 30 years of franchise or whatever. So you may not even get him, is my understanding. Because year 1, you obviously already have the real-life rookies. And you go to year 30 or whatever, and you're not going to draft in year 31. So, and I believe there's the 36 classes here. So there's a chance you never even roll him up in your entire franchise. So you can't just sit there and wait for him. Oh, this year if we get him. And that's the other thing that kind of sucked, in my opinion, is like, these are the best. These are the best running backs, right, of the class. Right? That's just like, oh, god damn, dude. It's not every single running back of every single class. But these were like the star players that they were looking for. The star and fast development, the average development. Like the players with the highest ratings, whatever. These were like the top guys. There's some like a 6th round guy, whatever. But I was like, wow. I think there's some good ones that like aren't talked about here. But I think they talked about like the top running backs in the class. But I remember finding that dude and I was like, holy shit, man. Like that's what I'm looking for. So I'm sorry to go on some completely random tangent here. I'm reading the comments, and it says, yeah, we are a lucky 8-2. Willie was still running gap as far as I know. Yeah. Fast Willie Parker was running gap, yeah. But my God, like I really do like the handcrafted rookie classes in Madden, which is like a thing that I don't want to miss out by just having these computer classes where you like air quotes know who everybody is or whatever. And so M14 would have been better served with random classes, so all traits and ratings were eventually covered. I do like handcrafted classes. I do like them. The thing about random, like, not that I'm trying to disagree, Denny, but like if we're going to have this conversation, it's like, random is what we got in the PS2. And you got shit in the PS2. Because when you truly let it be random, there was like no formula for things that made sense. So we can agree to disagree about what I'm about to say, but let's go here and let's just look at what real life players are. They give them 76 speed, 79 acceleration, 80 speed, 86 acceleration, 81 speed, 76 acceleration. The problem we ran into, and let's actually go to like real runners, 90 and 81, 85, 86, 88, 94, 88, 84. You had Wes Welker, who was like 99 acceleration, 88 speed. like as like the biggest difference. But in PS2 Madden era, you would get like 98 speed, 71 acceleration. I saw guys with like 94 speed, 67 acceleration or whatever. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, it was all over the goddamn place. You'd have offensive linemen, you know, with whatever, like, 90 or whatever run blocking or whatever, like, as a rookie, 87 run blocking or whatever, and, like, 47 strength or something fucking ridiculous. It's like, oh, he's so talented, but he can't fucking pick up his girlfriend, right? Like, holy shit. You know, it's like, I understand, like, a 97 strength guy who can't play. Like, there's plenty of people out there that, like, oh, they're a gym warrior and they don't have the attributes and you need to teach them or whatever. But you had abilities all over the fucking place. And it was embarrassing and bad. And when they let the computer just, like, dice roll, like D&D roll up guys, it was bad. What I liked about Josh Lumen's handcrafted classes is he could go through the history of the NFL and, like, point out, like, guys who were gym warriors but didn't pan out, and guys who were elite players but didn't have gym numbers, and also guys who literally were elite in the gym and were elite players, like the Megatrons and the Randy Mosses and all that. And he could approximately say, like, this is a once in a generation or once in a whatever kind of, like, often kind of a player. So it's like, we just saw our guy Pablo or whatever. Like, there aren't a lot of prime Christian McCaffreys in NFL history. Like, I really like Brian Westbrook. I love Brian Westbrook. I want to play Madden 10 where Westbrook is on the 49ers. Westbrook is no CMC, right? And while they're technically different players, it's like we had Marshall Faulk as like a receiving threat elite running back. And while not as elite of a running back, Roger Craig was a multi-1,000-yard receiver out of the backfield and also like 1,000-yard rusher in the same season. Only him and Falk ever did that. You know, these multi-threat talented players like Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson, like guy after guy, like they weren't also great receivers. Like, okay, you throw the ball to them on a screen or you throw the ball to them on an angle route or whatever, I guess, and like they'll just use their natural ability to run. But you never talk about them as great, like downfield receiving threats and guys that are going to do that. Like, off the top of my head, just off the top of my head, it's like guys who were great receiving backs were Roger Craig, Charlie Garner, as we said, Marshall Faulk. Kevin Faulk was not a great runner, but he was a very good receiver. Brian Westbrook. And to me, like CMC, like there's not a long list. And an even shorter list who also happen to be great backs. So to me, to see like one dude as elite like that, I don't mind. Over 30 years, maybe we needed a second or third guy, maybe. Because like 30 years ago, like 10 years ago, 2014, 20 years ago, 2004... 1994, again, like, we've seen 2, maybe 3 in 30 years, so maybe they should have a little bit more. How many Megatrons and Jerry Rices do we have? Or not Jerry Rices, Randy Mosses do we have? Like, really? I'm sorry, like, Antonio Brown was, like, a stat machine, but, and all of that, and he was putting up godly numbers for a while, but it's like, he's not in the same class. Tyreek Hill is not in the same class. Like, he's a fast guy and a threat and all that, but you just don't see Randy Mosses and Megatrons. I don't know, like, Megatron is a bigger player. Megatron is like if T.O. was even better, if that makes any sense. But you just get like 2 or 3 of these guys. That's just my opinion. So I think that Josh maybe didn't give as many as there should be, but I think he kept it from being ridiculous while allowing there to be really like elite legendary players out there and across the board. I think he did a fine job of that. I'm gonna read some stuff here. You added here like 3 comments. M14 would have been better. So yeah, I already read that one. I like the stories, etc., but they could have handcrafted the stars and bus, then randomized in between. I think you got to go all in one way or the other. I think you just got to go in. If you're going to handcraft, you got to handcraft. Definitely needed some parameters for the creation algorithm. Yeah. I mean, my understanding, it had a name there. I don't know if it was Madden 12 or something. I think it was Madden 12. That's one of the reasons why we like it. Is Madden 12 randomized the names. But people got around that because you could just say punter from this school or whatever. That's what people did. Is they're like, oh, the punter from Utah or whatever is the top punter in the class. So every time you see the punter from Utah, you get this class, and it doesn't matter what the character's name is. People still figured it out. And when Josh Lumen figured that, or discovered that people were still figuring it out quickly also, is he's like, okay, fuck it, I'm just going to put the names too, or whatever. Because I didn't like the meme names. I mean, I like, but I didn't like the meme names. Boar Johnson, or no, Boar Jackson instead of Bo Jackson, you know. Like LeBron James instead of LeBron James. You know, they had like some of these like wacky names. Jack English and for John Elway or whatever. I just liked having like guys having names, you know. Yeah, Madden 12 you could reverse sort by potential. Yeah, well, I mean you could do potential sort in Madden 9, 10, 11, like all that stuff. And literally, here's the thing, Denny. Since I mean we're kind of taking a sidestep from NCAA, but that was part of the problem with Madden 9 through 11 or 12. Is all you had to do was sort by potential. And you got the highest potential players. Thing was, and what I also like that Josh Lumen did, is he would give high potential to some guys who were shit, and he would give low potential to some guys who were really good. And I really liked the philosophy there, is you would have the guy, let's say, he's like an 82 or 84 overall rookie, whatever. But he would have like D potential or something. So, his rookie year, maybe his sophomore year, whatever it is, would be his best 2 seasons, and then he'd fall off. You know? And then you'd also have a guy who was like a 64 overall with A potential. He's never going to become a 90-something. He can improve 8 points a year, and he'll never hit 90. Right? He needs to get 30 points plus whatever. And, like, it's like 80 years, so like 8, 16, 24, like 30-something points, whatever, like by year 4. They don't do 8 points every year. I think they start dropping down to like 5 or 6 points a few years later or whatever, you know? Either he was never going to hit 90 or maybe he hit 90 or 91 or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, he'd be A potential, but you'd better have him, like, backing up and just developing, and finally, like, his 4th year in the league or 5th year in the league is like when he finally hits his prime, and you have to be patient, and you're going to get like 3 or 4 seasons out of him because he's going to be in year like 5, 6, 7 or whatever, and then suddenly, before you know it, he's going to like be turning 30 soon, and he's going to start regressing, or he's not going to progress anymore because he's like almost 30, he's going to start regressing to 32 or whatever, you know what I mean? You can draft that guy with like 61, 64 overall with A potential, but he's only going to do so much for you, and he's going to be a long-term project player. And so you couldn't just like, oh, I'm going to draft all the high potential players and then expect to get studs, right? I think he even had like a 47, 52, whatever, A potential guys. So like they could like become, I don't know, like low 80s or something. Like by year 5 or whatever, they could actually legitimately start and contribute. But they would take time if they'd even survive in the league that long, you know? So it wasn't just draft all the high potentials. But then you also had the combination of the two. And you'd also have, like, the B potential guy who's an 81 overall, and he'll cap as an 84 overall, and he'll just be all kinds of good for you. Never a star, but just all kinds of good, and a solid backup or whatever. Like, you had the spectrum, right? I liked it. I found it fun. Not to get on too much of a tangent, because I've also had a video literally talking about Madden 25 and comparing it with other stuff. But Madden 12, I like it a lot, but the scouting is trash because it doesn't work. Like, I think I've literally gone into it in great detail in the past. Do I have the book in front of me? I don't think I have. Do I? I'm going to look real fast to see if one of these copybooks is the one with Madden. No, this isn't it. Maybe it's the other one. I have this, like, a blue copybook. with Madden 12 notes. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Let me read it to you. Last page. In the scouting process, awareness is never scouted. Defensive ends and defensive tackles never have their power moves, finesse moves, or block shedding ratings revealed until you do individual workouts, in which case you only get to pick 5 guys. You cannot learn the halfback's carry rating without individual workouts. You cannot scout the defensive back's man or zone coverage until individual workouts. You cannot learn a wide receiver's catch in traffic or route running until individual workouts, which again, you only get 5 players. It says in the first stage of regular season scouting, the only players' positions worth scouting is the offensive line. With halfbacks, you get stiff arm, spin move, juke move, catch in traffic, spectacular catch. Offensive line, you get pass block, run block, impact blocking, and then PRS, which I think is press, which is like defensive back move. Defensive backs, you get strength, catch in traffic, spectacular catch, tackle, and power. Like, you don't get the core moves. Man coverage and zone coverage, I don't think you get play recognition. You don't get anything useful unless for the 5 guys you decide to scout. So you got a plethora of defensive backs. You're never going to scout a corner. Like, you've just got to take a shot in the dark of what corners you might want to scout. It's fucking terrible. And the offensive line, okay, you'll get the impact block, the pass block, and the run block, and you only, it says in the note, only scout in regular season offensive line. Second stage, in the combine, it says only scout halfbacks, wide receivers, and linebackers. If you need to gather information, you can scout some tight ends and some defensive backs. It says do not scout quarterbacks, fullbacks, offensive line, punters, or kickers. In the first stage, it says do not scout quarterbacks, wide receivers, defensive end, da-da-da-da-da-da. In the third stage, the pro days, it says only scout quarterbacks and fullbacks. You can finish scouting any tight ends or linebackers that you're missing. And it says fourth stage, scouting needing to receive accurate ratings are wide receivers, defensive ends, defensive tackles, and defensive backs. So it's like, you never scout defensive line because the things that matter, power moves, finesse moves, and block shedding, you will never get unless you go to individual scouting reports. And there's too many players, you get 5 to choose from. Defensive backs, complete waste of time. Well, that's your fucking defense. Your line and your secondary. All you get to scout are linebackers. Your offensive line you scout in the regular season. Like, the quarterbacks and wide receivers you scout at a certain stage, and the running backs at a certain stage. So, like, your weapons. You got your offensive line, your quarterback, and your weapons. And then you get to scout some linebackers. That's really it. It's trash. Like, it's broken. I love the video game Madden 12. It's fun to play. I'm not saying the game is trash, but the scouting process is trash. It's broken. And then you have trades, which, if you follow real-life trade logic, you can take on the computer and, like, dominate the computer. And what do I mean by that? I also have it in my notes. Here, I have, like, I can't show you right this second on screen, but I've got the draft value chart, the Rich Hill draft value chart. And basically, how can I explain this as easy as possible? I mean, I know you know Denny, like a lot of this stuff, but I'm explaining also for my audience too, is like, in real life, generally you can trade a current round draft pick for a round higher in the future. It's very common in real life, like drafts, for a team to give up, let's say, a current second for a future first. I wouldn't say super common, but it happens, right? Like, oh, this team is giving up, the 37th pick, like, 5 picks into the second round for a future round first round pick, right? Like, you generally can give up a selection for a future 1 round higher. The other thing is, when you trade down, teams will often, like, swap you the individual pick in the same round, and then you'll usually get some kind of future pick, and you might get, like, a mid to late round pick too. Just as a generic example, it's like, okay, you've got the 10th, or say, I've got the 10th and I want to get out of the 10th, I want to trade down, I don't like the top 10 selections. So, like, I'll look at 15 or 17 or someone that wants to trade up. And it's like, so we're going to swap spots, and I'll pick up your fucking third round pick and a future fourth or whatever. Like, you end up like getting like a current year pick and you get a future pick. And you can do all that kind of stuff in Madden 12. But like, you're allowed to offer and accept even trades, because here's one layer I still haven't talked about. Madden's logic is also matching real life's logic at the time the Madden game was made, that future picks are worth half value of their mid-round value. Okay? That's a mouthful. I look at the Rich Hill draft chart. The first through 32 picks, first round. Middle of the round is 15 and 16. So according to the Rich Hill chart, where the number 1 pick is worth 1,000 points, and the 32nd pick is worth 184 points, the 15th and 16th pick are worth about 315 and 305 points. So let's take the 16th pick, 305 points. That means the future first round pick, unassigned because the season hasn't been played, is worth half of that mid-round pick. So worth about 150 points. Well, 150 points is basically, if I look at the chart, the 39th pick in the draft, which is the 7th selection in the second round. So they're saying a future first, a generic first round pick, is worth a current year's 7th pick in the second round. Right? That's its value. And that's just a general rule. Whatever future pick you're taking the the third round of the future, that is 16, and then round 3 is pick 80. 56 points, 25 and 3, 28 points. It's worth half the mid-round pick. It's worth 28 points. If you do the math and you just calculate how many points your pick is worth, no matter whose chart it is, as long as the chart functions, and then you find the mid-round pick, divide it by 2, and you calculate that as part of your math, you can make even trades with the computer. And in doing so, because it's only half value, you're basically buying at half value the future. You're gaining money. You're winning money. Like, you're getting half price, right? So just by being even in what everyone considers value, you're winning. And Madden 25, Madden 14 doesn't do that. Madden 14 says, whatever we have as an even deal, you need to give me more if you're the one initiating the trade. The computer will offer you selections. If you, it'll say, the computer is, offering you blah, 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 and you can get value. And you have to be willing, are you willing to give up the thing that they want? And you can actually win in trades. You can lose in trades, too. You have to evaluate it yourself. The computer will offer you good trades and will offer you bad trades. It'll offer you a variety of trades. Like some that take advantage of you, and trades that you get a win out of it. And I like that. But also, if you're initiating a trade with the computer, you have to be even and then be willing to give up a little more. And the fact that you're willing, or you have to give up a little more, and it's not just a little more, but you have to give up more, it balances it out. Because I know there's gaming the system and don't try to cheat the computer. What is the point of cheating the computer? You're not cheating anyone but yourself. But it's you can literally just go into Madden 12, do even trades, and then build a super team. Because you don't even have to use a draft guide. You're just I have so many picks. I can end up having 10 picks. A lot of them first, second, third, fourth round, whatever. And just pile up picks and just take flyers on guys. And you're going to hit often enough. If you just do the most basic bare minimum amount of scouting, you're not even scouting by potential. Taking B potential guys and just having a consistent team, you're just going to take over the league. But Madden 14 makes you work more for it, if that makes sense. It's just a big deal to me. You can scout better. You can't just pile up on a whole bunch of lottery tickets every year. You can still make future picks, but it's not going to be you've got 10 picks every year all the time and they're high picks. It's all balanced a lot better in my opinion. I know I'm rambling a lot, but I hope that makes sense. I love seeing your comments. I love just like getting on these conversations. Let's kind of get a little bit back here. And again, this is the computer running the power. And it's nice to get that run. And not get that run every time consistently, right? Like, we got our blocks, we got our fighting, we got the kick out. There's a little bit of cluster up in here, and we've already set the computer run defense. This is kind of why I also like having, like, one click higher on run defense or whatever. I don't know if it makes the pursuit angle a little bit better. He gets caught up in, like, traffic. He gets caught up in the zoo. I want to see the stiff arm rating versus the tackle rating of number 6. To see if we need to increase stuff anymore. Let's look at the depth chart here. Thank you for listening to my rambling. I'm assuming you did. Let's go to... Where is the stiff arm? It's 89. It's pretty good. And remember, we've got a slight inflation with 55 running back ability. And then the tackle is 84. So we've got a 5-point advantage, plus we're slightly hopped up on running back ability. I like that stiff arm. Like, I don't think I need to increase the tackle rating as of yet. It's just like, here, we got in the open field. We say, get off me, son. Here's my super win. And then while he's, like, recovering or whatever, other dude comes up and, like, takes his knees out. That's the thing, is he just tries to roll him up and just get in his physical way and, like, roll his knees up. You know? If anything, maybe he could even run over him. And other times we just get walked to the ground. And sometimes he goes north-south. And they fight and they collide. I think it's solid. I don't think we need to run too many more plays. I think it's fine. I think the 55 and the tackling and all that stuff is nice. So, I like both sides. I really liked what I saw offline before. We've had like a whole side conversation of other things. What I haven't done is gone in and made the detailed selections of this I formation. And that's one of the things I wanted to accomplish tonight. And we're like an hour in, and I haven't even really started on what I wanted yet. So my goal were to do things like the play actions. And then the loose skunk play calling regime is nice. Not familiar with it. Do you know what they're talking about, Denny? I'm sorry to plead ignorance. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think that's a real thing. Committed an user on X. That's the closest thing I've got. So, not familiar with that. Just going to be honest with you. I appreciate the question. I'm not familiar with it, and whenever I look that up, all I see is a user on Twitter with that name. So, that would probably be why I'm not familiar with that. Okay, so very basic. It's set up. We're like, oh, here's the play, and we're letting the computer throw it. And it's willing to make that throw and the accuracy, and it's a play that works. And I think we're willing to move forward. Yeah, I think Denny, it's just like, I don't know what that question is. I don't know. Is there like someone that does Madden videos and they're doing a thing and I'm not familiar with them? Like, more information would be welcome. Play action power O is another play that I think we all know works. He fakes it. It's one of our plays. He throws an interception. Sometimes he throws it to the flat. Sometimes he throws it to the tight end. He should throw it to the tight end here. He doesn't. He's taking the shot downfield, but he completes it. Okay. Well, we're just going to let that go. It's interesting that Southwick here is taking shots downfield, and now he's taking the shot to A, and he's just inaccurate. It's a play. It works. And as you run the power O, it's set up too. I think it's fine. Play action scissors, this is what I'm worried about. I don't think this has a lot of potential. I think he might throw it to A from time to time, but what's going on with X is I'm afraid that he's going to just miss. Play action, and then goes across the field and he checks it down. That's nice. Sets up, and he's willing to check it down. The fact that he's willing to check it down is good. It's not ideal, but... And I hope it's not just we're always going to check down. But if it's open like this and you're just going to get steal yards, it's fine. We'll see how it continues to go. I hope it's not just the check down play, but it seems fine right now. Comeback slide. I'm going to try both moving more and not moving more and see what differences that makes. Gets this guy killed. Not moving more. Yeah, this is where they like dance around. I think that's where part of the problem is. It's the first and only dancing around we've seen so far. He's like whoopity whoopity. Yeah. I think we pretty much have to move more to get the spacing correct. Yeah, he does this little warbliness. I wonder how much of a difference it makes going like this. And how much of a difference it makes by flipping the play. See, now he has more room to work. And he can throw it. Yeah, he's actually willing to, like, take those shots. It's something we have to be aware of. We can't just force it to the narrow side of the field. Play action comebacks. This is another one that's a little rough. I remember practicing, and I think either you move him or you don't move him, he starts throwing to A. Yeah, he starts throwing to A here. What if I don't move him? Oh, he still throws to A, which is good. I think, yeah, if we don't move him, he actually completes it to A instead of throwing interceptions. But if we use the goes, because there's a variation of this play without the comebacks, but they're straight goes, like he gets lost and doesn't know what to do, and I think he just starts forcing deep shots. So this one works out pretty well too. If the play actions are willing to work, I mean that's part of the I formation is you run the ball and then you play fake them, right? You make them respect the fact that you can play fake them. So all of them so far work. Let's look at P.A. Kane. Yeah, this is one where he actually delays and he throws to X over the middle. I saw this one as well. It works really well. Like, he's willing to do that. So if he throws it early, it's incomplete, and we can just... I know it's because he's chugging, but... Yeah, we take a sack, but other times he's willing to, like, sit on it and let the route get open. That's throwing on the move. I don't mind that incompletion. A check down. He's got instant pressure. And he's willing to, like, take those shots. It's another good play. I don't think we need to see much more. I think they're fine. I think the next thing is to see what they're faking out of. So the end around is obvious. The power O is obvious. It's in the name. Scissors, what was the animation we were looking for by the halfback? Okay. I don't know if we have this play. Like, I don't know if we have this run play where he jumps to the side and then runs up the field. Do we have that run that it's faking? Is it ISO? I don't think so. No, he just does step back and then takes off. Is it slam? No, he opens wide like zone. So yeah, we don't really have it. I don't know if it's the other like halfback lead because there's slam and lead. But that's a big like turn off for me for Scissors is the action doesn't match. The comeback slide matches, I believe, the animation we just had. Let's take a look at this animation. Like, he opens at an angle. Like, a lateral step, opening, and, like, literally this is, like, zone. Right? We want to get the handoff here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. 1, 2, 3 steps. Yeah, it's basically like wide zone. And this is the exact same kind of play. Yeah. It's self-explanatory. They're tied together. Like, halfback slam and scissors. Sorry, comeback slide is fine. Scissors probably needs to go because we don't have that kind of run play, that run action. Open it weak. As we saw, he's willing to check down and take other shots. You said it acts like a blunt drive. Yeah. I don't know if we have that in, like, as an actual play that we could call, though. Right? Here, he's, yeah, like a blunt drive as well, right? Like the side step. Ugh. That is a turnoff. Showing an action that we don't already have in the offense. I mean, I'll take plays that work, but if that little jump... Do I need to complete that sentence? I don't think so. Is this the same thing? It is. It's a tell. I mean, you know, aside from the fact that the offensive line is literally dropping back to pass block here. They take, like, one forward step and then drop back. Like, you want to make it super obvious. I mean, that's what all the play actions are doing anyway, right? They're not even lateral stepping or anything. Jumping into a double team. Okay. So I'm not going to completely trash them, but I want to see if we do have some blunt drives or anything. Let's also look at other plays. Halfback blast weak. Maybe look at removing the dive and looking to see if there's a blunt drive left out. Yeah, no, I will. That's a goal. I just didn't want to, like, back out immediately. But definitely the slam and this are good football plays, but we don't have a play action for this one. We have a play action for the slam, right? And that doesn't mean, like, we can't use it at all. Like, you can just hand it off. This is one of my... I've talked about it before, and I'm going to talk about it very little now. It's one of my very favorite plays in all of football, in real-life football. The threat of the strong run, the fact that you've got a tight end and a fullback, so you've got, you know, +2, because backside you've just got the guard and the tackle. So play side, you got guard, tackle, tight end, and fullback. The threat of this run, forcing defenses to recognize it as they're putting a safety up here in the box. To now have basically, you got the center zeroed out, and you've got 2 on the line, 2 off the ball, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they have to flow to tackle. That means left of center, they have those 3 guys. We've got our guard, our tackle, and our fullback. And they don't have a box safety, and the other safety is responsible for deep coverage along with the corner, means really you get a hat on a hat weak side, and there's no one to tackle the running back. It's like, okay, there's da-da-da-da-da, and it's like, yeah, we're just like going to the secondary. Like, the threat of the power run is just what makes this such a fun play right there. Right? Just schematically, the threat that you can even do this lets you do this. Hat on a hat and go. And you're like, I'll just take 15 yards from you. Thank you so much. I don't even have to, like, be a good runner. 85, get the hat on the hat, and we just ran into a guy. I'm not, like, user controlling it, but it's just like, hat on a hat. And then if I can actually stiff arm you, if I can actually truck move you, like that, if I just lean forward and get you and get extra yards, Like, okay, thank you, buddy. I'll just take 10, 15 yards from you all the time. I fucking love that football play so much. Yeah. Then we have the counters and the counter weeks. Oh. Yeah, while we don't have a direct play action for the play I was just talking about, we do have the counter. Can I please look at the replay video game, please? Yeah, the way he opens up, like that open step, like we're going to do wide zone, the lateral step, like to me, that's enough of a reason that I don't need a play action. And then we've already talked at length before where we've got our kick-out player, which is 77, and 78 is our lead blocker. So we're really following 78, but 78 doesn't do his job right there. But if we're just like... We're just treating 78 like he's our new fullback because the actual fullback is kicking out. And he's technically a tight end, but it's just like... 77, just kick a guy. 78, you're my true fullback. Let me follow you through the hole and get 5+ yards. Right? I fucking love that play. So that counter works, but I don't have a lot of faith in the counter weak. Is the counter weak based off of that? Yeah, it's based off of that zone. So this has the lateral step here. So I don't want to take those plays out, but they're paired together with the counters. Yeah, the counter weak, counter strong are tied to slam and blast. I want to look at the misdirections animation. Okay, it's like a little weird wonky. This one is based off of that weak ISO, right? He's just back foot and driving it. And then he's going strong. It's basically a counter. And what I remember that it's basically a counter to ISO weak. But what I really like is calling misdirection and actually making it flip so that it's faking the strong ISO. And then we just bend it back on them. And that's like already 5 yards. So you're faking, and especially the way this power was, these two blockers, 77 and 85, sorry, 77 and 65, the way that they double, and you lead with the fullback, and you do all of this strong ISO, and he's actually bending it. I don't know what 94's problem is, like why he just messes up so badly and gets tricked so hard. But I'm just like a big fan of having misdirection flip more than misdirection normal. And then, where's the weak ISO? It's up here. Weak ISO I don't think is the best against a odd front, a 3-man front. You got the double kickouts right there. You've got the doubling on the nose. It's just 85 gets so confused. I think it's a better play against an even front than an odd front. Because I think 85 just gets super confused. Maybe his awareness also doesn't help, but they get like lost in the blocking. I think 78, 77, the guard and the tackle, the guard and the center, and this guard and tackle and this center and guard, they all do a fine job. But the fullback, I think, gets completely lost regardless, even if he was like a 90 awareness, just because it's an even front. And it's like a little wacky. And I also do like how the defense is like, okay, you're going weak, we get it. And then you can like cut behind it. You're really like, you're pressing that weak hole, but you're letting the double team on the nose allow you to cut it back. So it's not even truly a cutback, if that makes any sense. That's one of the things about the zone scheme. It's like you're moving him out of a spot. Here he is lined up on the hash marks, right? And so you're getting the ball handed off. and he's just left of you. Like the nose tackle is to your left. You're not even truly cutting back. I know he kind of cuts back here, but also remember where Coach Gibbs talked about like we're on the hash mark. Is it really a cutback if we're just still running on the hash mark? You know, and we're pushing the guy outside even our handoff point. Like where we got the football, the nose tackle is outside of our handoff point. Is that really like a cutback? I don't think so. We just get movement, and we're going north and south. We're kind of running strong even on a weak handoff, if that makes sense. Like the true cutback, would be somewhere else. And then it says, I love that these football plays are starting to look like actual football. I mean, they always did. I think at least I hope that to some degree me breaking them down puts some emphasis. Because like these plays were always in this game for like these last 10 plus years, 11 years. But maybe physically breaking them down. And then also I agree with you. I think I know what you mean, Denny, is adjusting the sliders so that people play football and they're not just like warping all over the place. I think that's also what you mean. It's also why I play on slow. I don't like normal or fast or whatever. I know that football is technically a bit faster now, but I like the smoothness of these animations on slow. Right? I think they get sped up and they look unnaturally human. Like they don't look human; they look unnatural. As I wanted to say, but I'm not Englishing very well right now. They just look unnatural and inhuman. They look literally artificial when it's on normal or faster game speed. Whereas slowed down, they look like the actual things are like firing off, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I do like having that play. I like having ISO weak and then having the counter... Sorry, not ISO weak. I like having the misdirection or whatever. They're all nice runs. So we're going to look for a blast. We also want to look at stretch. The thing I don't like about stretch is unlike the slam, that's like a true outside zone, this is just like way too stretchy. And it's like he doesn't have much cutback space. I mean, I've seen him cut back sometimes. And I do like how they all zone step. It looks so pretty watching them zone step. And then pick it up, which they don't do in PlayStation 2. PS2, NCAA 6, 7, 8. They all take an angle. They'll take a slanting angle and then let the defensive line right through. They don't do this. This is a reason why I like this over the PS2 era. And then just the quality of the run blocks. They get like triple guys slipping the blocks. This is where like I think like the run blocking could be a little bit on the better side. Instead of just auto slipping. When I think our guys have better run blocking than their block shedding. What do we want to compare to? Their outside linebacker, their nose, and their left end. Right? Now, it's just one play, but... Let's do run block. Where is run block? Because I think it's more to the right, yes? Run block is 80, 83, and 81. So very similar. Left end. Okay, it's better than our guy. It's better than our guard or anyone. Way better. And left outside linebacker. 80 to 81. Yeah, okay, you know what? No change in the blocking. They're equal to, even. They're a little bit better. I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. Our 81 run block versus 80 block shedding, whatever. And the other two guys are just better than us. We didn't check the tackle, but also with the leverage, I think I'm fine with it. And then it says, your breakdowns are great. Yes, I meant the presentation. Thank you, man. Is looking more realistic. The players have at least common sense and all that. No, I really appreciate it. And that's what I'm trying to bring this great content to you. The slant is fine. That's the thing. You play against weaker schools, slant's going to work, right? This is not a play you want to run against like student body right, student body left. Not a play you want to run against USC, right? A play you want to run against Idaho, right? But that's also kind of the fun, is if you really want to be the team that, like, puts up 42, 63 points or whatever. You're just better than the other team. You just go student body right, and you take it down the field, right? That's how, like, when you're playing against USC, you gotta tighten it up, right? You gotta power it. You gotta do other things. You gotta like scheme up ways to get your yards. But when you're matched up against a team that's not even in the top 25, that's not even ranked, that's how you can put up points, right? You may have to power O it. You may have to do other things to get your yards. So I'm still fine with keeping all of these plays here. I like all of these runs. I think we just want to back out for a second. We don't want to cut play actions, but maybe we can organize the plays. Let the auto save save every change that we've made, and look for more run plays, which I don't think there are. Organize things and start looking at the basic passes. I think that's a game plan here. Custom playbooks. BSU Broncos. Okay. Add remove plays. We actually want to go to the right. I formation. Press the X button. First three, we're all completely fine with. If we want power O, for example, then we want power O and power O here, right? Just for example. Thing is, I like having, it's technically the weak run, right? Let's say we had weak ISO next to misdirection, and we don't have any weak run plays for that to go with. So, for example, let's just imagine we grab, what's a regular ass pass? Fullback flare. So I say fullback flare, the power O, and the play action power O. So I've got a run in the middle and I've got two passes. One of them is the play action based on the run. Okay, great. I've got play action comeback slide, which is connected to halfback slam. Okay. And the counter to the weak is connected to that. So, I can run to the left, I can run to the right, and I can have the play action. They're all, the other two plays are based off of slam. Okay? And because of that, I'm going to put the end arounds, so I don't forget to call these in the game. Then we're going to have the basic run to the right, and the counter to the weak side, and the play action. Great. Now, we want to tie halfback blast and this counter run. Okay. And we don't have a counter play for that. So let's say we do that, and we take it a step higher, and we take a regular ass pass play like this. So we say, here is the run to the right. Here is the run to the left. Here is a regular ass pass play. Here's the counter to it. So now they're like all 6 of these plays are tied together. And now we've got a regular ass pass and power play action. Okay. What about the rest of our runs? ISO and misdirection are technically tied together. So we want that and that. And let's say we want just a regular ass pass play, right? So we say run to the left, regular ass pass play, and then the counter to the right. And because misdirection is like a counter to the right, basically these are the ones with counters, so we've got this one with the counter. And we're still back to power O. Okay. While this fullback and fullback flip are not technically connected, I like to imagine that they are because I can flip the play. I can flip the fullback dive. I can flip the flip the fake, so that we're flipping strong side. And then we wanted a regular ass pass out of that, because there's no play action for that. So what if I said like up here, go like this, the connected play go like this, and just the regular ass pass that separates it, right? So run to the left. This should be flipped, so it's a run to the right, not like right thumbstick playmaker flip. And a regular ass pass, right? And that leaves stretch and ISO. So let's just say we were like, okay, here's ISO, here's stretch. There are 2 play actions, different combinations, and I like how X is running the same route. The fullback is running the same route. It's really just Y that changes, right? It's the scissor or the double post, right? Otherwise, they're mostly the same play. I know that B has a little inside release and he's running a deeper post, but they're pretty much attacking the same part of the field, right? And here is play action comebacks, and we've got to run to the right. And we don't have any play action for stretch. I guess that's the other point. I don't think we have a play action for stretch. We don't have a counter for stretch or anything. To me, that's almost like a run out the clock play. That's another thing. When we talk about a 4-minute offense, we don't have to have a counter. We don't have to have a setup if we're just trying to run the clock out. Like, since we don't have pitch, like pitch doesn't really work if they get frozen. This is the next best thing. And it's just a 4-minute offense play. We're not trying to fake anything. We're just trying to go student body right, student body left, and win the game. This is our last play action that we haven't tested. We accept that. We accept the basic ass pass. What if instead of the basic ass pass, we did the play actions that we liked? Right? What if I replaced like flare with a play action? Right? What if I said like crane and then scissors and then comebacks or something? Right? And I took like flare out of like the scenario. And I said, flare is really not based off of the weak play. It's still based off of this. It's really not based off of anything. We got to look that up. That's one of our goals. But then, after crane and then seam, we got a play action in the middle, in the middle, in the middle, in the middle. They're all based kind of around plays that we like. How's this getting fucked up? Basic ass pass? Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's how it got fucked up. Okay. And then, because we lost the other play actions, what if we did here, here, here? Like the fullback runs. And then here. And we had... I'm just thinking like this and this, at least for the moment. Inside run, like run out the clock, and inside or outside run out the clock. And then you've got the leftover passes that we haven't tested yet, that we want to test. And of the passes that we want to test, we have, I like it. We have X post. He's going to the post. Then we have the digs. But we've got Z running the dig. We've got Z running the post. And we've got Z running the circle. Right? The corner, the circus. So we've got like Z doing different things. And we've got X technically doing different things. What if we have like X running the dig and the dig on each side, but in the middle he's running the post. And then Z is always doing something a little different. That I think is interesting. We can put that up here. And then we can have curls. Fullback going to 2 different spots. fullback going left, fullback going right. No fullback at all, and then they're in like a classic bench, and then we can try halfback choice. I think all that stuff is interesting. I don't know what you think. And then I think we should save it. And then we should look for that halfback blast, halfback blunt, which I don't think exists here. But we can look. Obviously, you can just go to the HB plays. There's the other fullback dive and the fake and all of that. Do we use fullback dive, fake the halfback, cut this, and yeah, I just treat it like I want to playmaker this to the left and playmaker this as well, because that's really what I want. I want the weak side fullback dive. I want to see if the strong side is any good. I know the weak side is like really nice. Like fake it one way and then pitch it out. We can look at those a little bit more in greater detail and see if the strong side dive is any good as well. But I know that I do like that play in general. And maybe we could just bury that here at the bottom. Right? Maybe we do one of those. It goes to the left, this goes to the right. We just keep it as a thing. Why is seam here? Oh yeah, I thought seam, we had a play action seam. Maybe that's why I'm tripping. I thought we had a play action seam. No, it's scissors, yeah. So what is this doing? Yeah, that's what it is. Play action scissors and then regular seam. So there's the play action version and the not play action version. Maybe one of them is in the trash, right? Especially with halfback choice. Right, that could be a thing. Just regular ass pass here. Skinny post. No. Because we're missing that. That got messed up. Now we've got play actions in a row. And then we've got the well, I mean, it could be like this. The run to the right, the play action in the middle. It's like pass here, but I don't mind. We're running to the right anyway, so it's the right-hand side play. Run up the middle, run to the right. Run like that. Okay. The stretch. These are all the play actions. Load option, lead draw, toss, slip, screen, pass, lead draw, lead. Yeah, it's just lead. Yeah, there's no halfback blunt dive. The fullback dives, all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of it. Either there's one play we want to add or two we want to take out, right? And we're going to find out as we test them. Double check the auto motion we don't want, the triple options we don't want, the slogos we don't want. The slants, I don't like it because he always checks down to the running back. He never actually throws the slants correctly. Which kills the slant and goes. I don't care about the fades because we already have goal line plays. That's just repeating stuff. Again, the slants I don't like. This post flag stuff I don't think works, but we're willing to add it. I think I've already tested it and it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've tested it. It doesn't work. The other play actions, we've already tested them and they don't work. The mid attacks and the meshes and stuff we already tested and don't work and we don't want. Yeah, I think I just added a bunch of regular passes and play actions to try them. And now we're going to try the regular ass passes. So let's get practice set up for that. Okay. Sometimes I like to play with away jerseys in practice. We're not even really an I formation team, but it's something they have. I do like having our number 2 tight end as our fullback. It really makes me think of Kyle Juszczyk and the 49ers, because Kyle Juszczyk was a college tight end that became a fullback for the Ravens and then 49ers. Like, that's really what the fullback is like a glorified tight end. He's not really a runner anymore. Hasn't been a runner since like the 90s with Mike Allstott. Okay, I formation. We like all these plays. We liked Kane, but we had nothing to base it out of. And while it's not technically connected to the halfback blast, at least if we have slam and some stuff, we've got something. Like, let's say we get this far into the playbook, we're already establishing some run. And so just like faking them out and seeing maybe how scissors and Kane work, I don't know. The comeback slide. Let me make sure I can read if there's any comments. Okay. The power rows. So skinny post. That's a play that we haven't looked at. And sorry if I'm repeating myself, but let's also set it up. These pass plays, it's like, just for you, Denny, for the audience, I consider the I formation a running formation. Right? No big surprise, right? Can we throw out of a running formation? Can we run out of a passing formation? Right. So, play action, that's one way that we can pass out of a running formation. We establish the run, and then we trick them and we throw. Right? Great. The idea is we're trying to get them boxed up like we are right now. Cover 3. So the ideal situation is supposed to be this. We're in a run formation. They're boxing us up, and we have a pass called. Now, pre-snap, we know, because we called it, that they're in cover 3. So, B maybe has a hole behind the strong safety between the free safety deep and the corner right there. Like, pass lead down bullet to B. Like, I just draw it back, hit my final step, and then throw it like this. Like, that is, like, if we literally know the call, you say, always got to have ace and I form packages because year to year you may not have a viable fullback or second tight end. Yeah. And you should scout and, like, find guys. Like, they should be part of your requirements. You should have depth at tight end. And college football, you need depth at tight end because that kid needs to become a junior and senior and potentially a starter. He needs to be an underclassman and learn as the third or fourth tight end. And as he becomes an underclassman to an upperclassman, he needs to be ready and contribute as the number 2 and then later potentially the number 1. And you need to have enough depth and competition so that, like, the best players come out on top, right? Like, you need that. So here, we also notice with this play, it's a 1, 2, 3 pop and pass. And as a human, knowing what we know, that's like an air quote ideal throw, right? In the window, in the pocket of 4 defenders, there's like 4 defenders around us. We hit our final step and we hit the spot, and he's not getting blasted immediately. He's allowed to, like, grab the ball and protect himself to some degree, especially in college ball. And we're moving the chains, right? On one play, we're getting 12 to 15 yards in that range, right? Boop, boop, boop. Throw it in there, and there's a pick. They read it, right? Boop, boop, boop. And then he picks it. That's with a bullet. There you go. That's good. This is all me user throwing it. Tap it like a lob. Great, great, great. So it's not just like an auto throw, but boom, set, and then throw it. Yeah. So if you throw it too early as a human, you're getting picked. Can we please look at the replay, please? We have that little half beat, and then we get it in there, and we've got it, and he's got enough time to really reel it in before taking any kind of hits. So it's good. So schematically, that's what we want to see. Because here's the other thing. As he's dropping back, he should be ready to throw. Schematically, everyone else is covered. We're running to the coverage. Maybe we're walling off with the body. Oh, this is a red flag for me. I do not like a route that runs right into my own teammate. Like, this is a number one reason to just kill this play. Like, fuck this play. I don't care that we complete it. The second layer to complete it is see what does Southwick actually do. Just press A and let the computer run it. And okay, like, he kind of, like, rub routes or whatever. He's not hitting what we want. He's checking down. He's not hitting the throw we want. And he's checking down. So that's just another reason to say fuck this play. You're just like, yeah. Oh, come on, right thumbstick. Give me a break. So I think we're already like skinny post, get out of here. I guess the one last thing we can check with skinny posts is motion Kirby Moore in more. He sets. The offense is ready. We snap the ball. He is kind of behaving like a rub route. And his cross up, he doesn't run directly into his guy. He is the primary receiver. But we're still checking down. I still think it's fuck this play. You tell me. Ready and drop back. It's nice when he throws it to Kirby. Like, moving a little closer still... Like, I think there's, like, a little bit of the awareness, potentially. Because you should be running underneath your tight end. Your tight end should be running deeper, actually. You shouldn't be changing your route. But I think 87 should be getting more depth to allow 34 to run underneath him, if that makes sense. That's what I would probably coach. So that makes a difference in the alignment here. Tighten the split so we can do many things. And he's just not looking at Kirby. But sometimes he does. So maybe we keep it. Maybe we keep it for now. We just remember that we have to tighten the split, which is something we want to do anyway. We've already established that many times before. And then we want to look at halfback choice. That's a play that I don't have a lot of confidence in. So let's break this down. Let's also put Kirby Moore in his alignment, where he has more ability to stem. And if A is pulling the attention of the deep safety, then that can unlock the dig behind it. So it's not like a traditional dagger where we have a slot from A running the dagger, but it's still like a dagger, and then you've got the check down underneath. So you also have a little bit of clear out action, maybe a little of attention. Like in the cover 3, the deep corner off the weak side is pulled off to respect the coverage. Potentially you've got someone respecting like the curl flat area getting pulled off. The other underneath linebacker should run with the tight end and then pass him off to the safety. So ideally you're looking at the check down, which is who's the primary receiver, RB. And then you're also looking to B. So you want enough of a receiving back that can do that. And then I talk all that and we end up getting like a strip sack. Okay. We're going to try it with the spacing with Kirby Moore, and we're also going to try it without the spacing. It's like he doesn't want to make the throw. So you can also motion the tight end to the weak side, and that hook will keep him from running out of bounds. Yeah. I think you were talking about the previous play. Yeah, let me do that in a little bit. It's very interesting here. The computer is really struggling whether I motion him or not. I'll go back to the play you were talking about. Absolutely. See, even though he's in the flats, he drops back and covers it correctly. Like, he doesn't just hide at the 30-yard line. In fact, Bill Belichick and other coaches have taught that these 5 yards is what they call the no coverage zone. Because you, like, run up and then you can, like, react. Like, you stay at 5 yards or so. And you don't push up point. You just react to any, like, crossers or anything. Not that you're trying to give up 5 yards, but you're not worried about tight coverage inside 5. They call it the no coverage zone. So really this flat zone should, like, kind of start at the 35. And so he's just backed up a little bit, taking it away. And we're getting the sack. And one of the things that we're looking at here is this dig action. See, this is where I said, yeah, the no coverage zone. So ball's on the 30. The 35 is where the no coverage zone begins. This is his version of the flats, these 5 yards between the 35 and the 40. And then he kind of points something out, and then he drops down to here. Now, he's dropping down a little bit low, but he's kind of flattening out here. But the other problem is, why is he flattening out when there's no threat? I understand and respect the fact that if the quarterback wanted to, like, scramble out and you want to be in position, I definitely get you want to be able to try to stop any kind of outbreaking to the 40-yard line. But you don't do that by coming up this hard. Right? I don't really like that. So we can motion off the ball and treat it like a more traditional dagger. But the game just doesn't like it. Yes, on skinny post, Denny, absolutely. The halfback option, I didn't have a lot of confidence in it, and I can see its value in real life, but I don't like it here. And yeah, let's do cover 3. That's part of it that I think that's interesting, is without calling a direct flip, we can do one of these so that we can also call legitimate runs out of this, including the play action that we like, that boots out weak side. I don't know if that's going to work here or we want it on the left hash. And yes, we're willing to test it on the left hash as well. I don't like that decision. I think this is very good for real-life human football. Yeah, because now you've got the rub routes, and then you're also throwing to a space, to the tight end. Like, as a human, I can definitely see the value in, like, drop back, and then we're, like, throwing to his body, and we're, like, getting the yards. I don't think it's going to work so much for the computer. I don't even think 99 awareness computer is going to see that. So now let's just try it here more condensed. But I think it's a very good point that you bring up, Denny, for human play. That worked better on that hash, at least that one time, right? So at least the right hash variation. Okay. Good little left hash variation 2 times in a row. Which is where we want to run this I formation from anyway. Now you also see we're kind of forcing them to adjust their secondary alignment. He's a little late on that throw. Yeah, they're going from in the box to not. So I also wonder if we can take advantage of that knowledge in the run game as well. What if we call halfback blast against cover 3, and now they're not stacked in the box anymore, and while they come up a little bit... Okay, he doesn't... That was me human running. Now there's 7 in the box. That's very interesting. You get them out of the 8-man box, and you just north-south it like that. Because if you're going to do this, then you've got to have reasons other than that one pass play, or you're giving up the obvious, right? Okay, it's not consistently like money every time. Okay. What else can we show off like that? Play action Kane could be interesting. Okay, maybe I thought he was going to run deeper. It kind of worked, but no. And how about the scissors? Now we're running the post to split those two safeties. Obviously, they go to a deep third. That's kind of interesting. And then we can worry about other passes in a little bit. That could be interesting for the fullback dive. Right? Because the weak fullback dive was nice. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I like this this variation of the fullback dive. It's not so bad, 4 yards. You watch the double team and then cut back like that. That's a little bit better. If you user do it. Yeah. Okay. I don't mind it. Sometimes they clog up the gap and you don't have anywhere to go. Other times you get a good push and you work backside and you pick up big yards. Hit or miss. I like it. I like it. Okay. The last place we were skinny posts. We're not throwing it away yet. That's for sure. So. But halfback option, I think we are trashing. Sorry, halfback choice. Now is the trio that we have to see if they truly work. Corner strike is a favorite of ours in Madden. And that's the problem, how he kind of like dogs it out. And sometimes he can complete it, okay. Well, he's dropping it. That's a whole other issue in and to itself. He's got 93 catching traffic, and he's not hanging on to it. Okay. And then he's throwing it away. Okay. And sometimes he's missing. Okay. So he's inconsistent, which is a thing. Okay, the reach out. Okay. So, corner strike works. We're going to see cross in and post. So let's look at classic X post. This is a very classic real-life football play. We may want to move the tight end outside. But let's look how the play regularly develops. And that's what I'm worried about. It really feels like nothing happening. Right? Like, the drag is like this, and then he's like, okay, we're going to respect it. He's all yours. I'm pointing my finger out. We're going to come down and take this away. So, like, we're getting to cover both guys. You're going to make this, like, little dig towards the safety. I'd rather just run a dig than the post. Like, the post is to attack cover 2, and it's not cover 2. And you're doing all of this work at this wide receiver position. And we're, again, like, kind of being taken away. Like, at this point, the ball's already out, right? We're ready, boom, to throw. Like, where are we really throwing? Kind of the post to X. Right, as a human. Just blindly, boom, and then press X. And he's too far out in front, so X down. X down. And he leaps. X left. X left, hospital ball. Bullet X left. Like a tight window there. So I love these two plays based off of slants as a base play. Yeah, I do too, except slant sucks. Like, I definitely like the fact that we can just, you know, run this slants action. Right? I absolutely agree. But I don't think it works from the I formation. Right? And they don't even, like, bite on that slant. Right? I love doing this in the NCAA game on the PS2, where you can, like, user 3-step drop, because you have to user drop back instead of computer drop back. I go, like, boop, boop, boop. Whatever, and you can throw, like, in between guys. Whatever, I'm just using that. I wonder if this play has any value. Like our other play. Yeah, no. I don't think X-Post works with us. That doesn't mean it's all trash. We can still do cross-in so that Z receiver is doing something different. The back is doing something different. The tight end is doing something different. And X is digging while Z... Sorry, yeah, Z is going, like, over the top. Ooh. I think he's just lost. Yeah, he's buying time and going nowhere. A's dragging out to the flats. That's human. Like, this is human, just like... You see it, you throw it, you complete it. Like, what I like about it is X is drawing the attention of the linebackers. The linebacker comes up here and, like, he bites this really hard. And he's like, oh, shit, you got me. 47's like, someone take care of him. And they're both, like, stuck underneath. And then you're undercutting this guy up here. And they've been suckered. And you just feed it into that pocket between the suckered up guy. Like, boop, boop. And, like, you just really football it up. Like, it's so nice. Like, this is, like, old school. This is, like, 70s, 80s football. You know? God, it's such a nice football play. You say cross in motion. So it says cross in. Motion the Z across the formation creates a switch combo. Yes. I don't think the computer can handle it, though. Yeah. First, we'll try it on this hash. Then we'll try it on the other hash. Like, we go to twins. And obviously what B and X do... Yeah, it's got to be right hash. There's just no space. Like, let's say we want student body right, like the slant. And it's like, okay, make them respect this. Yeah, now the game is like super confused. What if we're right hash, cross in... Sorry, not right hash. We're left hash, cross in, motion. Yeah, even then the game is like, what the fuck is going on? The computer's like, I don't understand. You flip the play, you put a guy in motion. What the hell do you want from me? Yeah, I love how these two guys like just go like, whoop, to like completely obliterate the coverage. Like, they can split in so many ways. They're both running on the field like twins. And they're just like, how are you going to break out? Boom, and they exchange. And it's so nice, but the computer is just like, I don't know what to do. No, I didn't want it flipped. It keeps it flipped. Okay, unflip it. Make them do their actual cross-up. Yeah, no, you super asking way too much of the video game. Like, the human, you can do it, but even then, like, there are problems. Like, these are the kinds of reasons, Denny, like, that as a human, you can just go undefeated and set, like, passing records and all that stuff. You can just be like, yeah, like, we're just gonna X you up, we're gonna route you up, we're gonna combo you up. Because also, the computer, that's the other thing, Denny. It's like, the computer doesn't have an answer for this shit. A human versus human playing online, like, let's go for it. But the computer, its play calling and its limited ability to do stuff, it's like, the computer doesn't see this and go, hey, whoa, we need to make this change or that change, or we need to flood the zone here, we need to, like, cover 6 to this side, you know, the deep, you know, side, and we're just going to do a 2 over here and a 4 over here, so we're not going to call it cover 6 or whatever. We're not going to man up with a too high shade the safeties to the right sideline. You know, so you put like a safety here and a safety over the middle of the field, and you got man underneath or whatever. Like, the computer doesn't do any of that shit, right? It just like gets cut apart. So that's also like the cheesy factor of like why I like to just let the computer do it, right? So yeah, there's a whole list. Like, we could literally make a playbook of CPU play and make a playbook of human only play, right? If we wanted to, but I think halfback choice and cross in need to eat shit, and that's already going to be the 2 extra plays to even out the book. Post, I don't think the post works either. Yeah, the post just doesn't have an answer for anything. Which begs the question, if only you have his corner strike, which is trying to look like lion. Sorry, dragon. Because the A and the B button. But we don't have it. I think we have corner strike out of other formations. We may even have corner strike out of weak eye. I don't remember. No. Do we have it? I thought we had it out of another look. Is it like a gun look we have it out of? Yeah, we have it out of this gun look. Right? So let's go nickel, 245, 2-man under. And even then the computer's like, I don't know how to run this play. Yeah, you're getting sacked before anything opens up. That's just such a difficulty. Now, I know I called 2-man under, which is like, if you can just man people up, that's like dangerous. Right? But yeah, it's like, okay, and then the computer's ready to throw and nobody's open. And you can say that it's because the man coverage is so tight and so talented and we've got talent and they've got talent. And then we need to talk about other things like the coverage rating maybe needs to be dropped down or whatever, and the blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we do have it here. We have it in some other looks. I don't think we need it in I formation. Because, again, the slant doesn't work. He just throws like 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage to the running back. The other beautiful thing behind corner strike is the way that circle route is by Y, the running back. It looks like he's flaring out, like he's going to flare out to the sidelines, like on a slant, but then he circles in. He said maybe that's what killed my PS3. Too many combined C routes. Oh my god, that's good. It's just the computer couldn't handle it. It literally couldn't handle it. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to kill cross and expose corner strike. We're going to save them for other plays and formations. I think that gun here, the corner strike play against the cover 3 was better. Because we saw it got eaten alive by man. Even then we got fucking eaten up. Can you just run the play? Can you get the ball to X? Like, user, I got the ball to X. Draw it back, get ready, throw it to B underneath. Bad, fucking terrible ball placement. That's all human throw, and he just dropped it. Computer, can you take the snap, look for the route, and then... The computer just can't fucking handle this concept. It just can't handle it at all. That's a whole other can of worms I'm not ready to get into yet. But I think we're just... Like, corner strike works. We saw it work. I don't even know if we care enough. We cut halfback choice. We need to look at seam 6, 7, 8. Because out of play action, we have that same concept. That's what you got? What if we don't motion the guy? You can connect that one. You're doing that better than the other route combination. Yeah, he's doing that a lot better than he was with the X dig. Yeah, he's completing that one a lot better. We can afford to trim those 3 plays. You have better versions of those in other sets. Yeah, exactly. Agreed. Seam 6, 7, 8 I think is going to work fine. I think it was working better than cross-in and not corner strike, but it was working better than cross-in was. I think he was hitting it better. Bench curls and flare, right? I think it's pretty obvious. Like, the curls should work ideally against this cover 3 because you should have the deep corner getting pulled off, respecting the fact that we're running the ball to like 12 and coming back. Right? We're not running to 15, but we're running to 12 and coming back. And then the fullback running to the flat should absorb the flat defender, and then we should be able to throw underneath it. Right? Like, ideally, that's what we're going to get. Now, that was a human throw. And you also have an escape route if I pass lead it to the left. Right, he gets hit, but we throw a bullet. We hit our back step, and then we throw it to X. And yeah, he rolls out to the left and maybe breaks a tackle and goes. Like, that's the design play. And the same thing if you draw it back to the right, you should be able... Well, the computer just threw that one. Very nice. I was going to try to force it, but the computer even saw it here in the forward foot. And we get out to the running back, and we get no yards because we just get back to the 30-yard line. And then if I try to force it to be here, it's an interception because he does a good job of that flat defender playing it, and the computer threw that, and the ball carrier vision and everything else. That was nice. Let the computer throw it. He's missing the X and he's throwing underneath. There's also that thing, the fact that he's like not 90 awareness. So sometimes he's like checking down and sometimes he might be able to throw it to X. Please throw it to X sometimes. I'm going to user throw it to X and maybe teach you that you can throw it to X. Because you did throw it to X once before. Are you going to learn now that was a user throw? Can you throw it, please, like you did before? No, you're still wanting to throw it to Y underneath, aren't you? Why are you throwing it to Y? Why did you throw it to X only one time? My God. He's starting to freak out. He's doing that like little freak out jitters. God, what is wrong with you? You threw it to X once by yourself. And now you're not. I think he's afraid of that interception. I think that's why he's afraid to just hit the drop back, fire it, and get this picked. And here's, I think, a classic play where the video game screws. Everyone, yeah, this is classic EA. The ball goes through the defender's hand like... God, this... When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, especially teens and early 20s, God, this made me furious. Like, I would lose my temper over this shit. I've since matured as an adult, but you play a competitive game of Madden, you play a competitive game, money game, tournament game, and you watch your guy step up and swat the ball, and the computer fucking cheats you. The football goes through, like, our guy's hand. He does everything correct. He makes the swat, and they get a completion, move the chains, and maybe even score. Oh my God, I would, like... I wouldn't say break a controller, but, like, oh my God, that was so bullshit. I hate how slow the locomotion is out of the catch. Watch that. One foot on the ground. God damn. Okay, so it's literally hit or miss. Sometimes curl flat is working, sometimes it's not. How about bench? The beautiful thing here about bench is that we have 6, 7, 8, which he runs the dig. Will he run the bench to get attention? He does, but there's no flat player to take the attention away from the flat defender. I wonder if we tell RB to right thumbstick out. And you throw it. He actually threw it. He threw it. That is really nice. That's not me. That's the computer. He moves in position. Pull the attention. And he'll throw it. That's important. I wonder if we go to curl flats and we go cover 3 and we tell Y to do something else. Okay, he just loses his goddamn mind because he doesn't have his check down guy. Wow, you'd rather throw it away than do your job. That time he throws it. That's the computer. Wow, he wants to lose his... He would rather... Oh my goodness. I wonder if it's an awareness issue. Like, he'd throw it away rather than run the play. Very inconsistent. I hope that this is just an awareness rating and being sub 90. I'm willing to try it with Johnny Manziel. He really wants that fullback or that running back to block. I mean, to get the ball. What if we just do straight up pass block and say it's not even a choice, man? You don't even have a choice. He would rather throw it away than run the play. Definitely willing to try it with Johnny Manziel later. Great stuff as always. Need to go to bed. Check back what you missed in the morning. Hey, man, I super appreciate it. It's like 10 something my time. I appreciate it. And we're just going to keep messing with stuff. So, what are you at? Like 2.5 hours? Thank you for being here, man. Alright. Bench can work if we hot route. And then fullback flare is the other one. Right? He'll throw that one. He'll throw it again. That's good to know instead of wasting our time. The fullback flare. Resetting it. RB. Block and release. No, they won't block and release the fullback. Okay. And he'll, if I just tell the fullback to go to the left instead, he'll also throw it to X. Well, there's your answer. We don't need curl flat if you can get fullback flare to actually work, right? You don't need curl flat if you can get fullback flare to work. So I like having bench and seam, keeping X like honest with different routes. The same thing with B, like you can go to the post or you can go to the out. Fullback flare means curls can disappear, so we can lose all three of these plays. We can get rid of curls and choice. Yeah, that's good. Curls, choice, and the other three plays. That gets rid of 2 entire rows of plays. We got to remember to make the little hot route adjustment. I'm not super against that. The computer won't make those adjustments, but at least it makes the play work. And the computer can run it. We've seen it. Okay. Okay, so X post gone. Skinny post works. Choice gone. The regular curls gone, cross gone, corner strike gone. Now realign the plays. At the end of rounds, the base runs, the play action and base runs, the scissors action, the weak and the misdirection, the flip, yeah, I kind of like having the run being in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like this, right? And it's really easy to have the fullback in seam 6, 7, 8 flare out to the right. And then it's really easy on bench to have the fullback flare to the left. And it's the left play. I think that's an easy adjustment. And then in regular fullback flare. So you've got like seam 6, 7, 8 where the... wow, they can both be tied together, can't they? That's really interesting. Like if I do that... That's really fascinating. Right, we get bench, seam, and flare can all be tied together. What if we had like flare goes to the right, and then we set up seam like this, where the fullback also goes to the right, but we're hitting underneath to X potentially. We just make the running back go to the left. It's just really interesting. Like all three of them are paired together in a lot of ways, right? Like the tight end is going to the flag. The tight end is going to the flag here. The fullback is going to the flat. The fullback's going to the flat. Like they're both tied together. We're running underneath or we're running a dig. Like those are tied together. The only thing that's tied together here is just what's happening with X. So to me, maybe we do bench up here, and then since bench is here like this, or the other thing I'm thinking is like here and here, and then move this up, up, and up. Because I find these to be like the run out the clock plays. Right? Not the benches run out the clock play, but like these are the final runs. And then I'm wondering like that. What if we move that up here like that? That to me is interesting. We've got our end arounds that we want to make sure that we establish or whatever as a threat, and we don't want to forget them when we're calling our game plan. Like just we call formation, like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I don't want to get it buried at the bottom and forget to call it. Then you've got like your actual core runs, and then you've got your power O kind of core and your skinny post and your play actions. And then I don't want to lose that these things are tied together. And I don't want to lose play action comebacks. What if skinny post and play action comeback like switch positions? Right, you got two different play actions. Right? And the last of the play actions, right? And you're just scrolling down, you've got like, you can just hand the ball off, you hand the ball off, you got your passes, you got your fullback runs and your fake fullback runs, and your other regular ass passes. Now that you've been like establishing the run and the play action, and the fact that you're able to run the ball, and then it's like now we can throw from a running formation, you're maybe getting them to come up in the box and try to respect your run as long as you've been successful. Because you need to be successful, in my opinion, with the run first. You need to actually be able to physically run, not fake it. This one thing I don't like, not one thing. It's one of the things I don't like about Kyle Shanahan is he thinks he's so fucking smart, and he just comes out with play action without actually establishing the fact that you can run the football. Instead of making the defense respect, like, it feels like Kyle is so... He's trying to play like 3D underwater backwards chess, whatever, against you, and it's like he doesn't just sit there and say like, we have Trent Williams, we have Pooney, we have CMC, we have Jordan Mason, who was like, before CMC was healthy like these last 2 weeks or whatever, Jordan Mason was like the number 3 running back in the league or something I heard, and he was having like the best set of games that in like the best 5 starts or 8 starts or whatever a 49er has ever had at a running back as running the ball. I know it's just 49er history, not all history, but the Niners have literally the $1 million backfield and Frank Gore and other like great runners in their history. So what Jordan Mason was doing is historic, is also against a good like team that has a history of running the ball as well. But Mason was doing all this great stuff, and then CMC came in and like Kyle gave Mason 2 carries last week. Like, what the fuck? That's a side note. But the idea is like Kyle just like he'll come out and just start the game with play action. It's like, bro, like one, you're predictable. Like I know you do that. Like I watch enough football to know you do that. So you got to tell me that the defensive coordinator that's being paid millions of dollars or whatever knows that too. But also, you're not like establishing that you can actually run on them. Like, actually run it down their throat and make the defensive coordinator have to find an answer to the fact that you can just have Trent Williams and Pooney and whoever, like, grind it down your throat and impose their will on you and make them line up, and then that's when they're like they're on their heels and they're just trying to find, they're just searching for an answer in the run defense, that you hit the play action on them. To me, that's it. It's like, if we can't run it on you, if you've got an answer to us, then why should you fall for play action? And what good is it going to be to trying to throw the ball out of a running formation if we can't run it on you? If you can just put 7 in the box, right, and stop it, then that means you can like stop my passes too. So what are you doing? Like, I feel that these passes need to come up later in the order of plays, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's a thing. Maybe skinny post and bench can swap positions. We can call skinny post earlier. We can get flare and seam working, and then as you get flare and seam working, then you get bench, because you've like hit underneath and you've hit inside and you've hit inside, and now you can hit outside on bench. That could be a thing. Keeps X honest. I think all of that's really fascinating. I mean, really, that's 14, 24. That's 24 plays, bro. Like, if you run in college football like 72 to 74 plays, that's like a third of your offense if you run all the plays at least one time. Right? 24 times 375, you know, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's the 72 plays, huh? That would literally be a third of your offense. Right there. That's some solid shit. And that's also not counting all your like short yardage and goal line and third and longs and the blahs. Yeah, I put plays in here that we haven't tried yet. Obviously, you've got like the mills and the variations and all that stuff. Like, I haven't actually tried them yet. I just wanted to get other plays going. Let's see what else we got. Oh, it was Texas A&M. Oh, I'm so dumb. I was going to see the Johnny Manziel thing anyway, right? Well, I was going to see Johnny Manziel for Curl Flat, but now I don't think we care, right? But it's fun to run these plays with 99 awareness, Johnny Manziel, and see if he runs these things any better than our 89, 87, whatever awareness. I think 87 awareness quarterback. Does the 12 extra points of awareness work? Does it matter? Formation. So, slam end around fake. Stack 43. No. Under. Well, who are their backs? 8 and 9. Yeah, so under. Cover 3 sky. The kick returner got it out to the freaking 23-yard line. Whatever. Okay. On the left hash. We should really run the end around first. But you can slant it. Okay. You can move them in motion. You got the defenders sliding. And you're holding this guy. Which makes sense. He's not going to chase down the back until later. He's holding, he's waiting, he sees it, he reacts to it. And he gets involved in the play. Great. And now you hit the end around. Yeah, see that guy that was sitting there waiting on Evans to come around. He's like, I got this end around fake. You're not going to get me. You're not going to... Oh, God, I'm getting blocked. Yeah, I really like the danger of just hitting him with the end around. Give him that, give him the good old Deebo Samuel specialty. There, he defended it. Start the game with the good old Deebo Samuel end around. Pick up 10 yards. Kill it if they're in a different set. So we do all that because, hopefully, cha-ching, set up. Wow, he doesn't find anything with a setup play like that? Wow. Now that the setup is done, like we've already used it, then he finds it. Wow, that's terrible. My Boise State quarterback was throwing to the tight end. Wow, okay, that was really weird. Anyway, we ran it 3 times, whatever. And let's go with the regular passes. The bench. Here we go. 180. Wide. 80. Check, check. 200. Wow, Johnny, you're throwing an interception? The Boise State quarterback was throwing the out. There we go, Johnny. Johnny on the spot, huh? Okay. Alright, I'm just like closing some things. Okay. Let's go. Okay, Johnny, I mean, I still don't see the value in having a 99 awareness quarterback. Oh, you really like throwing that, huh? Oh, the Boise State quarterback was throwing the X route, the X pattern, far more consistently here. That's me as a human. It's the back foot. It's me as a human. That's me as a human, just trying to throw it to Evans. I'm just trying to like pass lead up, pass lead down, see what difference that makes. Yeah, like the throw to Evans isn't gonna work. Yeah, wow, Johnny is playing worse football than my Boise State quarterback. Like generic 90 whatever 99 awareness quarterback. Yeah, you have to do. Here, you have to do that. And he'll throw it. So if you'll throw that, in bench. Now you'll throw it, huh? Wow. Wow. That is really disappointing with bench. That is incredibly disappointing. And he's hospital balling that. He's throwing it right to the linebacker. Like feeding it directly to the linebacker. So late. Gonna get your kid killed like that by a Ray Lewis. Get a Luke Kuechly out there and you're just gonna like get him blown up. Get a Clay Matthews out there. Get a AJ Hawk out there. Get clocked. Ugh. I'm of two minds of just cutting skinny posts, like I said earlier. Cutting bench to some degree. And maybe fullback dive and just cutting a whole row. I don't know. There's also the give and take. I think I'm just in a mood because it's late. Okay, let's look at other plays. I know spacing and trail. I've practiced all these plays. These plays work. This is one of the few times I actually use the auto motion because it's about the only plays that are worth a damn. Basically, I have Z close F trail and then the Z close counter weak, just to keep the defense honest off of the right hash mark. Yeah. I need to be able to make Z counter weak a default, like, run play. Like, audible. Come on! Give me a break out here, guys. Let's go. Let me follow 74 around the corner. Let me follow 74. I don't know how bad our blocking matchup is here. He's driving. You just can't ask him to do it for too long, huh? Oh, well. Z close F trail. He wouldn't really run against the box like this anyway. Yeah. You'd want the pass play anyway, which is exactly what we get here. Sometimes he's able to complete it. Sometimes they chug out and they miss. Can you please make the throw? You made it one time, and now you can't. Like, that's as a human. Wow. You made it one time, and now you can't make it. It's so ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Spacing has the auto motion. And again, tightening the split against the right hash. Gets completely lost in fucking around. Okay. So yeah, we want to look, well, you can't see too much, but the way the auto motion is, It actually works with the end around. The flanker drive. So you basically have the spacing, the drive, and the spot, and then the end around. And there's no like true like fake end around slash and their whatever like play action or anything like that. But just the physical motion of the wide receiver, it might be a pass play or he might just straight get the handoff. Right, like that's part of the idea. I'm also worried about taking it out because the I formation one is so much better, has more versatility. Am I doing it just to get 5 yards? Am I running my wide receiver through the tackles just to get 5 yards? I think I get more efficiency with the kick out block in the regular I formation than I do here. Like, we're really working really hard to get 5 yards. Yeah, you can see how the defense definitely thinks there's going to be a handoff to the running back, even though we don't have a variation. All of that is like a reason for me to potentially cut this entire formation. It's like, we don't have a slant. It says the setup for the FL drive is set up, probably because of spacing in the end around. We don't have like an end around slash fake. We don't have a play action based off of it. So that sucks. So if I want to cut end around, I might as well cut it spacing, Z spot, and all that. If he can't complete F trail, then I don't even want to mess with Z close and all that. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays all of a sudden. So what? We just have 3 plays? Power O, play action, and counter weak? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Right? It's a very up in the air kind of thing. Thankfully, it's only, what, like 9 plays or so? Adding to our other 25 plays. It's really like the give or take, the it's going to work or it might as well cut it all kind of thing with this strong eye. Strong eye normal. Because you have 29 passes and all these 14 runs. But you just look at it and it's like, Z close F trail. It was nice. The F flat was not nice at all. The way the other routes were, he wasn't even throwing it well. The post is boring. The circus route and the fact A also has the stutteriness and Y has that stuttery joggingness is just trash. We've already seen how bad that is. I don't want to call phase this isn't my goal line situation play. It can be, but it isn't. Again, it's just more like the angle routes and the weirdness and maybe they can throw the comeback, but it's not been good. And it's just a repetition. And he throws to the halfback for -7 yards. And then you can already imagine the slide maybe works, but I don't care. We already have the I formation version of it. What are we doing? Right, some of these don't even work, and then that's mostly it. We fake the fullback handoff. And I still don't think the route combination is all that good. I haven't tried it since we messed with the intentional grounding slider, but the auto motion mesh, maybe. Oh, it's because X is close. That's why I didn't add it. It's not even a play action or anything. It's just a drop back with 3 receivers. The tosses, the stretches, the split screens, the off tackles and ISOs. The ISO, the way that the wide receiver moves, it tells you what the play is before the ball is snapped. Again, just boring. I like this play, but not in NCAA. I really like using it with my 49ers, and I like trading for Kyle Juszczyk from the Ravens. And I love throwing to Juszczyk on this little screen, when I'm human user controlling it. I have so much fun with this play, but that's not what we're doing here. And it's okay, there's the F trail and the end around and the double goes, and it's just what What are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? The Bill Belichick, the Julian Edelman impersonation of Bill Belichick. What are we doing here? And it's like, okay, we got the power O versus the regular ass, like, run. You know, you start looking, it's like, we don't want toss. I don't want stretch. I like the power O. You could do the off tackle. You could do the, blast. But I'm like, why? Like, we have power O. And we have a play action with power O. Like, I could see the value in doing that handoff and doing this slide. But the other thing is, I don't like this off of the right hash mark. I like it off the left hash mark. I mean, like, the formation. And we're rolling out. So we're not on the right hash mark, we're on the left, but we're moving X inward, and then we're rolling out. That's the problem we're already running into. It's like a little weird and wonky. I'm willing to look again now with the intentional grounding slider at the fullback and then the fake fullback. That's like 2 plays. We have 29 pass plays and we're only using 5. And it's really because what the combinations are. And it's just like, why are we even doing this? And so it makes me ask, like, we could look at other variations. There's only 15 plays here. Let's at least look what they are. I don't care. Twins, twin flex. I don't want twin over. But that's also kind of funny. At least let's look at it. Y flex, Y trips. It's kind of funny. Okay, let's at least look at it just for the memes. But the really only thing that I was looking at was like the twins flex, like taking it serious. Because I do that in All Pro Football. In 2K8. Alright, so this is the Y trips, and there are, 12, 13 plays. So you got a slant, whatever. This sail looks trash. A 2 receiver route, like that looks like it's going to be a trash play. Like we're on the left hash mark and we're rolling out and we're just trying to high-low read this. Like, we could look at it. But really, it's just a 2 route play. What are we hoping for? Like, if the smash doesn't work, we've got nothing. A 3 route play with no backside or anything. Sounds terrible. Another 3 route combination, just a curl flat with a seam push. I don't know what we're doing here. Yeah, we're just going to remove all the plays. In this, very much the same play, just a different setup of the same thing. A little bit of mills, right? It's worth it, at least for the memes, to look at it. We might actually take that one seriously. Tight. Okay. Strong eye close. That's one that we can look at in a little more detail. Okay. This has 15 plays. Trail. Okay. It's a fine play in theory. I like because it's close. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. I like it because it's close. We're already like compact. I like that the fullback is stretching the flat defender. So for the curl flat combo, that just looks like trash. We don't want the quick toss. We know how that works out. Though, we could try it. We know that sometimes it gets frozen, but that's like a run out the clock kind of play. Play action scissor. Do we really care? We're faking weak and then rolling across? Could look at that. The classic mesh is worth looking at. Some of these could be worth looking at. I don't want to run a screen pass out of that. A strong and a weak and a dive. I'm sure that's going to be trashy. That's terrible. So we either need to add a play or take 2 away, in my opinion. I don't think I have a lot of faith in the trail. But the benefit is it's kind of like slants. It's kind of like a Lions exchange. B is going first and A is following instead of A going first and B following. And then you also have, like, as he drops it back, RB is not like a 7-yard loss check down that he does. We don't have a backside route, but you can also, like, hot route X to, like, an out and in, a comeback. Like, you can do a few different things with X, so that's interesting. But yeah, starter goes is dumb. We know this is dumb. This is going to be one of 2 plays that we cut. But it is a run the clock out play. We could check it. This inside post and this, I think, work together. Basically, I have the 3 core runs. 4 core runs, yeah. Okay, so pretty sure that counter weak and like that work together. We could have that. That could be the play action. We have like Y trail and the play action. Then we've got the play action here. And the stems here, right? Honestly, we could cut quick toss, but the run with the play action, the run with the play action. Just the run and the counter. Regular quick pass play, regular quick pass play. And then 2 paired pass plays. Is there a fullback run or something? There's just stutter go, slip screen, 2 stutter goes, a slip screen, and a drive. Why not? Fuck it. I don't like the fact that A isn't the one doing like the post corner here. That would have been really nice if either B was doing the post or something, like, so that they would be like double connected, because X is clearly connected here. At least we can look at these plays. At least we can look at them in practice mode. having more and more of a reason to not even have this. Okay. I don't like the slants because he'll just check it down to the running back to lose yards. Power O is fine. Wait, no, tight. I already have all the plays for tight. I already have it all figured out. At least I think I have it figured out. You got like what? Fullback dive and fullback fake. You have power O. Do I really want to slide like that? I can check this out since we've changed things up. We're at 9 plays. I definitely like power O. The tackle and the sweep. We know how bad the sweep can be. I think that's good. We got the dive and the counter and the toss. We can have the power O and the play action power O. We wanted... Yeah. Fullback dive, play action the fullback dive, and the fullback angle. I think that's why we cut this stuff, because the fullback angle was probably trash. And they didn't really fall for stuff. And we probably just had the 6 core plays. Like this. Or whatever. Yeah, it was the Twins and Twins Flex that we wanted to check out. Okay. It has 27 plays, right? Wide receiver streak is just... I like it in 2K8. It's overpowered in 2K8. We can see how it plays out. The stretch is a classic play. Quick drag, it's not really trying to fake like an in and out, like X faking out. Because we don't have like the what it's trying to fake. I don't want power option. I'm sorry. Power out, fine. Play action off the power out, fine. Play action the fullback slide. That's fine. Play action the fullback to the flat. It's basically Spider Y2 banana. I don't really like what X and B are doing. It's kind of like a delayed Mills weirdness. This is faking the fullback dive. Play action with some shake action, but I don't like the smash concept. There's not enough time to actually run that concept. It also looks like you're kind of... The benefit here is it kind of looks like you're trying to do this with the fullback and the tight end. And now you're doing that. So there's at least some value there. So like, let's say... let's load it up. Let's do Power O at the top of the game. And then we say that. We say play action Power O. So we're basically saying, hey, here's Power O, here's the play action Power O, and based on the route of the fullback and the tight end, we're going to fake and cut it back to the middle. Maybe that's not going to work. Whatever. But that's the idea. Okay? We know that's not going to work. We're not going to worry about that right now. Just generic play, generic play. Still don't think we want the stretch, the student body stretch. We have the regular off tackle. I don't think we'll want generic bubble screen that doesn't go anywhere. So there's this stretch. Maybe stretch shows up twice. And is there play action for that stretch? Yeah. Okay. So stretch, the counter weak, and the play action. Got it. Let's do the fullback dive. Oh, here's a boot slide too, huh? There's 2 boot slides. That's interesting. Okay. I don't want to draw play out of a running formation. We're not lining up in a run formation and then faking that we're passing and then we're still running. If I want to run, I'll just run. So we're doing that. Don't want option pass. Really don't want halfback screen. I'm not calling a run formation just so I can fake that I'm passing and then run a screen behind it either. Oh. I don't want to lose track with my ADHD, but there's only 16 plays here. Smoke screen, don't care. That's maybe actually be useful. A power O and a play action power O and a fullback flat and a slide. And the sweep is probably not going to work. Stretch, slip, screen, again, probably don't care. Definitely don't want lead, draw, dive. Flanker, dig, don't really believe in it. Double slant could be something. Okay, we're not throwing it away yet. That's the point. Okay, we'll get back to it later. So as we were saying, power O's, the 2 play actions. Even though he really fakes like this is with the stretch, we can see if one of these 2 we want to keep and the other one we want to get rid of, and then we can put the counter weak up there. The dive and the flat here works. And I was looking for the play action of the fullback, which is here. Okay. I don't have anything that the X just runs out. So it's like a delayed mills, and you don't really want a delayed mills. I don't see the point in this drag play. On paper, I like this one more. I think this one might actually be the successful one for the video game. I don't mind this mills concept because you're doing play action and it gives it time to develop its like route combination. And again, there's like a primary reason that you've got literally the post and the flat. Play action power O, play action fullback flat. It's functionally the same kind of play, right? Well, it's called play action power O in the name. What's the difference? Yeah, I'm not sure what we want to do here. Yeah, but the power O with that. And just the normal here. I don't think I like hitch corner. I like comeback with streak. Hitch corner and China special are kind of related. But what A is doing, not really. I'm not gonna like drag or flanker. Slanty, slant, slant, slants. Curl flat is a classic, and I think it's going to be trash because I think the fullback and the tight end are just not going to have good routes, and we're spread too far out, and the curl flat isn't going to work either. I think that's just going to be trash on a stick. Especially when I want to be mostly on the right hash mark while we're running this stuff. Like wide receiver streak and the comeback. B is doing the same thing. Y is doing the same thing. X is just like doing the comeback or not. It's just kind of weird. We're going to look at stuff. A and then what A is doing here can be related. And what's going on here can be weirdly related. Plus, you can have B's stem. The thing is, like, X doesn't sell it. But, like, B has two different stems. And the tight end is either going a quick out or he can do the stick and nod. Here's a different tight end route and then the comeback with the wide receiver. So there's, like, they're in a family. And you've got the 3 receiver route slant, the double line without a check down. You've got pass blockers. Okay. I don't think hitch corner is going to be any good. I really don't. I don't think it plays with anything else. So I think we get rid of hitch corner and we let the slants go there. Yeah. Yep, I think that's what you do. You power O, play action, power O, and then you also have the corner post, which also gives you that smash concept anyway. Maybe we keep one or both with the fullback and the fullback fake and the slants, and then these 3 plays that are buddies with each other. At least there's something there. There's something of value there. And then we can go into practice and see if they actually work or not. And then we were going to take Twins Flex serious. Okay. Power O, play action, power O. And why not? Dare I say why not? The rollout smash. We roll out to the left. Hand it off to the right. Play action, fake it. Play action in the middle and the actual run. Play action is the wide run, which we kind of have here. So what if we... What if we said... What if we said slant, stretch to the right and fake the stretch? So you've got power O and stretch, two different ways of getting out there. And we don't really have a play action for that, but at least we have the counter. But really the counter is based off of the kind of the stretch, so we get slant off of our backs. And we say stretch or counter. Also you've got the pulling action and the power O pulling action. Ah, that's another thing unto itself. You could actually have a pull one way, a pull the other way. The lead of the fullback fakes the lead and then goes out the other way. And then you can just roll out to the left. You can run the ball to the right. You can play action, boot it. There's a few things there. We just have the classic run the ball up the gut. I don't think flank or dig is going to be any good. There is the play action based on the dive. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this curl flat is going to be any good. I think the stutteriness of the tight end and the running back or the fullback is going to be a problem. I don't think we're going to get the proper spacing alignment with the curl flat. I don't think we're going to challenge players the way that maybe we hope we would. And I think that quick out by the tight end is also connected with this the China special. Maybe we cut the slip screen and we do the curl flat again. Maybe. Because what if we do curl flat China special? There's just no play. There's only the tight end and the weird movement. And we know the sweep is trash. Why don't we just clear them all out? Plus size, we already have runs to the right. If we want to run out the clock. So just curl flat China special and sweep. We're all just gone, right? A button. And the final question is, what is the point of this formation versus the other twinsiness? We basically have the same kinds of play actions for the most part. This boot slide has B running another direction than otherwise. And we've got a rollout smash where we actually have 3 receiving threats instead of just 2. Slightly different combinations. And our China special here actually has some value with wide receiver streak or whatever, at least to some degree, versus the other China special. And I think it still makes us ask the question, why do we have normal, like I strong normal, like why do we truly have it? Like the end around isn't worth it. None of these other plays are particularly exciting. They really aren't. They're like twins and twins flex. They're just part of the same family. And the tight variation. Yeah. So these 15 plays, Power O's and stretches. Counters, double slants. I mean, we're kind of doing a lot of everything here. Is there any reason to twins flex? Like, we sorted it up, but it's like the rollout? Is this why we're doing this formation? The boot? Maybe? Did we call a power on the other one? I thought we did. So we just doing this for rollout smash and the boot, then the play that bases off of it and this play. Do we care about these two? Can we just cut them? 1, 2, 3, 4 plays. That would leave us with 3, 4, 5. What if we kept like the counter weak and the stretch together, like this? What if we literally said, okay, you're running to the right, you're faking it, and you got the boot. We said, here's the run up the middle, and the play action based on the run up the middle. And who cares about this slant combination? What if that was it? Run up the middle, play action, run up the middle, roll out, run to the right, run to the left, play action. We already have better versions of this. So double slant and the power O stuff is gone. And that's basically it. And that's the difference with the other thing is like we have a legitimate rollout and we have a different boot slide. So that we like have 3 different boot slides. Like that could be decent. And if it doesn't work, whatever. So there's like on paper and then you go to practice mode and you actually try this stuff out, right? Yeah, I don't want to mess with like a whole bunch of formations, though. There's also a bunch that I've looked at offline. I don't want to deal with like, oh, F pair, chief, twins, whatever, no, like all this stuff. Like, I want to stick as close to what Boise State had in the book. That's what they are. Like, oh, let's look at the empties and the flex bones and the goal lines and let's look at everything. Like, no, let's not. But they did have a strong eye. And I was like, they had strong eye normal and strong eye tight. And I'm like, what if instead of normal we had close? And what if we had the twins? Right? I think that's good. We're just over 3.5 hours. We've got lots to practice later. It's past 11 p.m. my time. I've got work tomorrow. I think it's successful. I appreciate you and everyone else that's been here. So,